TNT derivative deal.
Can I offer you some tea?
Good tea. Nice house.
Hello and welcome to Plomeek Teatime 35. Today we're talking about Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country, which is the very last time we get to see the original series crew all together, and we see the growing pains of the fostering peace with the Klingons that we ultimately see congruently as TNG is also filming when this movie comes out. Joining me today and looking at this film is Scotty R37, Bird 5, and King Dolphin. Oh.
Hello, all.
Step on that. I like your hello world. It reminds me of my programming days.
Yeah, the programming days.
So how are you guys doing?
I'm happy to be here.
I'm really excited because I love this movie. This is the Hunt for Red October of Star Trek movies. I am so giddy.
Hunt for Red October? Really? Oh, right. The submarine movie.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be here. It's been a while since we've done something, Jill, and what better way to spend a day off with reviewing this fantastic movie. My second best of the original series.
Your second favorite TOS movie. Oh, cool. I didn't know that.
My second favorite.
That's great.
This almost sounds like blasphemy, but at the beginning of this movie, there is a dedication to Gene Roddenberry, isn't there?
Yes, we just saw it.
Okay, I was just making sure. I wanted to make sure I didn't dream that.
Yeah, the first movie after he passed.
Mm-hmm. Apparently, he hated it.
Yeah, he didn't like the racist undertones that they portrayed that the Federation portrayed, that some people in the Federation portrayed against the Klingons. Imagine not everybody was like that.
But also, like, originally when written, it was not Valeris who was going to be sort of one of the conspirators. It was going to be Saavik. And Gene Roddenberry said, no, you can't do that to Saavik. At which point Nicholas Meyer said, I created her. I can do what I want. But ultimately, Roddenberry won out, I think.
I'm so glad that went. He got at least that. That's great, because it would have been awful to see Robin Curtis turn like that.
Or Kirstie Alley.
Yeah, it could have been a Kirstie Alley return.
Yeah.
We get Brock Peters, Kurtwood Smith, everyone's favorite Clarence Boddicker. Yeah. John Shuck, the Klingon, or the Chancellor of the...
Where have I seen that name before?
I don't know.
I don't know that guy. Who is that guy?
I think
he was on an episode of Outer Limits once.
Yeah.
Hey, that was a good episode.
I thought he was on Twilight Zone.
He was awesome in Outer Limits.
Was that the one where he was like the spaceman? He was the astronaut?
He was and sole survivor at the end.
Yes. Really good. It's always interesting to see Michael Dorn without the Klingon makeup.
Mm-hmm.
He's a handsome guy.
Yeah. Leonard Nimoy producing.
Yeah, Nimoy producing. And the president of Paramount, Frank Mancuso, didn't want Star Trek to end on the low note of Star Trek V, and also wanted to do something about the 25th anniversary of Star Trek. And so, honestly, hearing an executive who actually loves and cares about Star Trek, it's incredible to me, considering these days.
All right. Here it is. Here's the reason that I have never seen Stargate.
This right here?
This right here. Oh. This special effect was used by Stargate in the trailer. And as soon as I saw the trailer for Stargate, I said, that's the explosion of Praxis. How can that happen again? So I never saw Stargate because there was no truth in that art.
Oh my God.
Oh,
it's a really great movie.
Yeah. And this, you know what? I'm sorry. And this is one of two reuses of a special effect from this film. And I don't necessarily forgive either of them, even though the other one is from another Star Trek movie.
Well, if it's Star Trek ripping off Star Trek, that's completely different.
Right. Well, I had to see Star Trek Generations, but I didn't have to see Stargate. Now, from what I understand, because I made this like rash emotional exclamation, but you said that there is no ripping off of Praxis in the TV show.
Yeah, well, it accepts the history of what happened in the movies, but it doesn't show it again.
Do I have to see the movie to watch the show?
No, not really.
Cool.
It
I'm not
helps
angry.
a little bit with some of the lore, background of some
it's
of the
fine.
characters.
Yeah.
It'll just be a mystery.
Yeah.
And of course the digital Star Wars did a version of this, which I never really liked.
Yeah. But that was like it was its own special effect. But I did be like, when I saw it the first time, I was like, oh, you guys are sort of emulating the Praxis explosion, which I admired.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I have about 5 million chats. So I've got to
sure.
say hi to the chat here. Bird of Prey 5 was first in line here. He's also here on the panel. And he's got some quotes from the movie.
Cry havoc, and let's slip the dogs of war.
Nice.
I'm as constant as the northern star.
Cool.
Yes, he did have those great one-liners.
And Mark Harkness says, you cannot truly appreciate Conan until you have read him in the original Klingon. Tell me, Captain, do you know what is best in life?
Do you guys know the Conan Creed? I don't know it.
What is
To
kill your enemies? Oh God!
Hear the lamentations of their women.
Yeah. Something about Crom.
Oh yeah, that's in your intro sometimes, but Nog is saying it.
To kill your enemies. Oh, to crush your enemies. There you go.
Nice.
Oh, you know what? It kind of makes sense that Nog would know some English literature because Jake taught him how to read.
True.
And there's, hey,
Up there.
you're on the panel too. Hey, King Dolphin. And Admiral Teague is here. Hello.
Oh,
To Admiral Teague and Jim's Landscape.
Hey, Jim.
Commodore
Hey, Jim.
Productions.
Hello, Admiral Teague.
Oh my goodness. And also Phantom Boomer, Gap After Dark. And meant to say Praxis. You're so mad about Praxis, you couldn't spell it right.
No, but yeah, I was. I said Paxis, which I think is an antidepressant. I'm not sure.
I don't know. Oh, you wanted you wanted me to put in a poll for the movie.
Yeah, because we want. Do you not want to, or are we just all going to agree that it's the bestest ever?
No.
Come on, we need Gorilla might show up. He needs something to do. He'll have to do it an F.
Princess Fiona wants Klingons to leave, so I guess I'll leave. Goodbye.
Klingons leave. Oh, is that like a Clarence Boddicker saying to the bitches leave? Klingons leave.
Oh, hello to James Caserta.
Yeah.
He's the bad guy in RoboCop.
Okay, so hold on just a moment. I'm making a poll.
Oh, right.
Why are you doing that? Hello, honey.
Oh, hello to Sandra Feliciano. Good point.
Yeah, she's working.
Hello.
But listening.
All right, then I will press the buttons in the chat.
Yeah, please do.
Will do. Let me find where we are. There we are. Oh, we have King Dolphin with James Caserta. Hello, and an ahoya from James Caserta to King Dolphin. Gap After Dark gives the shout out of the stream, or share out the stream as well. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. Tell your friends. LDG gives a wave.
LDG, hello.
Hey, LDG.
Gap After Dark says LDS. He did too much LDS.
Wrong movie.
Although I'm always okay with anybody who wants to quote the best Star Trek movie.
I'm with you. Mark Harkness says, let's see Norm raise a glass and call out Morn. I would love it. That's the crossover I want.
Yes.
Mr. Brown, ahoy, says Star Trek 6 is peak Nimoy. And I was wondering, James Caserta, I speak for the mighty Gorlak. Please explain, Gorlak.
Yes.
And it's good to see you.
Oh, great to see Mr. Brown Lights.
Yeah, for sure. Mega Reacts. Hello, good tea. Nice house. And Princess Fiona, sup, Mr. B, at Mr. Brown's Alliance. Oh, still going through. Here we go. Edge of Time is here. Hey, Edge of Time. Fun fact, tea is an excellent source of arsenic and lead. I guess it depends on the cups.
Yeah.
Tea. Speaking of tea.
Yes. You know, probably made by Tuvok, now that you mention it.
Oh,
because
right.
This is the subject of the Voyager episode Flashback.
You kept mentioning that last night. Where's Tuvok?
Where's Tuvok? Why isn't Tuvok here? So apparently at this time, there's some sort of ancient alien entity memory of long dead people. And Tuvok is there, being a pain in the ass to Sulu.
So just out of curiosity, before we go further, which version of this movie are we watching or rewatching or critiquing today?
Good
Considering
answer.
There's some major differences.
Theatrical cut. No Colonel West.
Wow. Okay.
Oh.
I noticed that last night when we were watching it because I've only seen the extended cut. I don't even think it's a director's cut, but the extended cut of it with when you find out the Scooby-Doo ending where Rene Auberjonois is a Klingon.
Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, there's a Scooby-Doo ending.
That was the one I had on VHS. So that was the way I remembered the movie. I didn't even remember that there was a non Scooby-Doo ending until the DVD or Blu-ray came. That was the theatrical release, and I was like, "What the hell's this?"
Yeah,
and I had to go back and find, that's the way it was in the theaters, and not the way I watched the movie 250 times from age 14 to.
The funny thing is I've never seen the version with Rene Auberjonois in it.
Oh,
really?
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. For some reason, I've only seen this one.
Wow.
Because it also, when Spock, I don't want to jump.
Well, yeah, no, you can. No, jump ahead. This is Friday.
Okay, because when Spock
jump ahead.
mind assaults Valeris to get the answers, in some versions, you get to see pictures of who he's seeing. So when he says Romulan ambassador, you see a picture of the Romulan ambassador. When you see Admiral Cartwright, there's a picture of Admiral Cartwright coming up on the screen. In the version I had as growing up on VHS, they never put those pictures in. He would just say the names.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not that it's a major difference, but it was enough that I noticed.
Yeah, but I think that was like a third version because that's not even in the extended cut. Like I remember getting like the 2-disc DVD of it, and it didn't have that inserted into it.
Right,
maybe on the Blu-ray.
The current Blu-ray director's cut,
okay,
which is
has
the
that
closest you can get to the VHS version, has the scene where Cartwright, they take the Klingon face off at the end.
Mm-hmm.
They have the extra scene in the president's office about how they could take out the Klingon Empire right now, and
clean their chronometers.
Yes,
I'm trying to remember what they have in the 50th anniversary version.
Yeah, I didn't hear clean. I watched this movie last night. Clean your chronometer.
Yeah, it's not in this version.
With a minimal loss of manpower and hardware.
This scene is when they talk to the
Klingon ambassador.
Daughter. Yeah,
the
Klingon ambassador. The Klingon ambassador leaves.
Yes.
And after the the daughter of the Klingon who becomes the new Klingon chancellor, and she says, "I want to have it somewhere secret," and and he says,
Yes.
"Of course, anything you want." And she says, "And one more thing, you'll make no attempt to rescue Kirk. That'd be an act of war." And when it goes off in the president's quarters, Cartwright and the other guy are there, and they have this ridiculous paper presentation with a laser pointer.
That's
awesome.
awesome.
The old school operation.
We can go in, get them out with minimal loss of life.
They actually talk about doing that.
Yes.
And
the president is briefed. And he's like, "Well, what if it does go to all-scale war?" And then he says, "Well, frankly, sir, we can clean their chronometers."
Okay.
But that's also one of the reasons why Gene objected, is because it made Starfleet to be overly militaristic.
I didn't think of it at the time, but that's absolutely true.
That's why I think because of the inclusion of the Colonel West colonel, you have a Starfleet colonel. That's crazy on its own. And when he comes in and starts talking about the invasion and stuff like that, that's why I sort of equate this movie to Hunt for Red October, because there's galactic politics and the brink of war, and it was originally an allegory for the fall of the Berlin Wall. So it all does so well. Also, Jill, did you want to say thanks to Junkball Media, the Janolin there?
Oh, right. We did watch a little video last night, Scotty R37 and I, about this particular little spacecraft. So, it's the...
I'll see if I can get the
beautiful space dock pictures.
Yes, it is.
And Junkball had a good video about it. Right, the model work is wonderful.
Back when they still did models.
Yeah.
And actually, Princess Fiona says, "I love that space dock render done to Horner." Andrew Time says Earl Grey is for winkers. Well, we're not talking about TNG today, so yeah, sure. I actually like Earl Grey, though.
Yeah, Earl Grey's good.
Girl is Random Thought says, "Kapla, got a big F for this movie."
Yeah.
What?
He doesn't like the Jackal Mastiffs.
All right. Thank you for looking that up for me. I wanted to know what those animals were on the planet. She would have good reason to dislike the Klingons.
Savick, yeah.
Yep.
Because, Star Trek 3.
And Red from that 70s show is the president.
Yes. Kurtwood Smith is awesome. Oh, he's Anorax as well in Year of Hell.
Yeah.
This sounds like Apocrypha, but James Caserta says Spock's uncle was Romulan.
And his mother smelt of elderberries.
Kapla, Susan.
Hi, Susan.
Hey, Susan.
Yes. Oh, and I don't know if I said hello to Princess Fiona, but yes, hello, Susan Dolan. I assume Dolan.
And hello to everyone. I'm sorry I don't.
Yeah, hello also to Philip Gaming. I still haven't said hello to all the chat. There are way more people here than are usually here.
Oh, and Philip Gaming.
Movie. That shows a particular love for this movie.
Philip Gaming has a great video about him being one of the background Vulcans in Star Trek Picard Season 3.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet.
Episode 5.
Yeah.
Great. You get to hear about what it's like being a background actor and some of the politics going on. Like, not politics, but like background stuff going on about Picard.
And the makeup process.
Yeah. The realities of what were happening. Yeah.
What happens when you get up and go to your job and it's to be a background Vulcan? It's awesome.
Well, you were almost a background Ferengi, Philip. if the actor who was playing the criminal didn't cry about not being a Ferengi and got to be a Vulcan instead.
I'd rather be, if I were on screen, I'd rather be a Vulcan.
Well, yeah, that's what that guy said
It's
too.
funny
Even
because
though it didn't make sense.
Philip was the source of that, I believe.
Yeah, well, I heard it from LDG, so I guess if the source is from Philip, that's even better.
So check out the
Because he
video,
was right
yo.
there. He was right there on set, so he knows what's going on.
But I do enjoy the approach of the SD-01 heading to space dock.
Oh yeah,
It's wicked.
beauty shots are always great.
Like,
Yeah,
and
that's
I
why
think
I lingered on it for so long.
like when you retro it and you look at the approach in Star Trek V with the moon as the backdrop, I do enjoy that shot, but this one is so much better and dynamic when you're following the little model. There's that lady from Sex and the City.
Love the haircut.
Oh, she is from Sex and the City.
Yeah.
She's from Sex and the City. She was in the
Yeah,
first
I wouldn't
Police
know.
Academy movie. That's
She was in
Mannequin.
She was in
Porky's.
Porky's.
I think she's Canadian.
Princess Fiona says, if you're not watching SG-1, you're seriously missing out.
I have heard about SG-1. I'm not against watching the television show, but I won't watch the movie.
Hooray.
Yeah.
And hello to Euler Greg.
Hey, Euler
I'm
Greg.
still saying hello to new people here. Look at this.
Yeah.
Sweet. And Mr. Brown says, the famous. We have the technology quote and the white paper chart.
Yes.
They did that for drama.
Well,
Yeah,
it was
just like they did all those stupid books to look up Klingon for drama too.
Yeah.
but also like if you wanted to delve into it as opposed to having it on a computer system, it would make sense to have some sort of hard copy of it because it is a surreptitious plan to basically invade the Klingon Empire.
Good point.
We want to destroy this shit. It ain't. Sorry about casual swearing. We don't want to leave it on a memory bank somewhere. Again, there are people who say that Colonel West is a representative of Section 31 in this movie.
What? Section 31 is not in this movie.
No, but they
Get out of
retcon
here.
it. They retcon it and they say that Colonel West is, and also possibly Admiral
does?
Cartwright. It's been a rumbling. People talk about everyone tries to fit the canon
Rumbling?
together.
Oh.
So people have attributed Star Trek 6's plot to possibly something to do with Section 31.
Oh, to explain why it was so un-Starfleet. Yeah,
Mhm.
it was so un-Star
Yeah.
Trek like. I guess that makes some sense.
No, don't. Never give Section 31 any credence whatsoever. It was a good idea for Deep Space Nine.
Well,
but
no,
leave it
I didn't
alone.
say I believe it. I just can understand where it's coming from.
And I like it in Enterprise as well, but that's because it's a prequel. But
Yeah.
after Deep Space Nine, just leave Section 31 alone, please. And they didn't.
Nope.
Yeah, it should have ended there. Admiral Teague says, its politics is so meta, the Cold War was a BFD, and it had just ended.
Big
A
freaking
big
deal.
effing deal.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was true.
Klingons leave. Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, he did leave. He's away. Bird of Prey 5 is away. Mazareth says, hello, taking a break from complaining about Star Wars to jump in. My first Jill stream. Oh,
Well, hello.
Ding, 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 ding,
Welcome.
ding, 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 ding. I'm the official first. I'm the first. I am the official first welcome to Jill's stream bell. Ding, 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 ding.
Ah, thank you, because I realized I should have a special event for anyone in my stream for the first time.
Yeah,
Well,
ding, 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 ding.
Miser us, you have just taken your first step into a larger world.
Oh yes.
James Caserta says the trailer trash of the galaxy.
They would just
Oh,
become
yeah.
the trash of the galaxy. Such racism.
Yeah, I
Yes.
know, and I think that Brock Peters didn't like saying those lines.
Well, and there is a line later on that was handed off from Nichelle Nichols to Walter Koenig just because of the
Yeah, 'cause
implications
she
and the
didn't like
references.
those lines either.
Yeah.
No.
I always thought it was kind of important that if anybody was saying it, it was Brock Peters.
Yes.
because it was like, look at how, this could have been said about African Americans, 50 years ago, and now in the future. It's not that saying is bad person for saying it, just that kind of history repeats itself.
Mm-hmm. Well, but also, I understand why Nichelle Nichols passed on the line, and because it wouldn't be in her character. Like ultimately,
Right.
when we
She
say
knows her
that,
character the best.
yeah,
Mhm.
and if it comes out of Chekhov's mouth, it's more ironic as opposed to being accusatory.
It was the Guess Who's Coming to Dinner.
Yes,
Guys, and, I
and
could see
so
that.
but again, it doesn't fall into Uhura's character, but it does, somewhat fit within Chekhov's character as
Sure.
well.
Oh
So
my
it
goodness, Cinema
doesn't
Girl's
hurt
here.
anybody. Hey, Cinema Girl, Ben, what's going on, pal?
He says it's his favorite POS movie.
Nice. See, and that's the thing. Like, obviously everyone know, like normal people walking through the mall, they know the one with the whales. But I think that this one is, while Star Trek fans revere Star Trek 2, I think that the average moviegoer would say they like the one with the whales and the last one. Is that an incorrect assumption?
Well, I kind of feel insulted.
Why?
Because my favorite one is the one with the whales, but you're
Mine is too. Mine is too.
To just being a normal moviegoer.
Well, no, you're superior, of course.
Obviously.
Also, I'd like to welcome to I agree, Bird, but I also would like to welcome to the panel Gorilla's Random Thoughts. He has something to say about this movie.
Gorilla.
Blah.
Oh, there. Now I can hear y'all.
And so this isn't like my Tuesday reviews where I go scene by scene or anything. I just happen to have all the slides for the movie, so you can talk about any part of the movie at any time, or any go back or go forward or whatever.
My ask extends to the end of the movie there.
Okay, great.
Yes, okay. I know the Klingon Empire was decimated because for some damn reason their moon exploded and all their resources were tied up in the one damn moon for some stupid reason. But
yeah, I agree completely. I was
key
going
energy
to mention
production
that.
facility.
I was going to mention that myself. That's my biggest problem with the movie. Why would Empire like the Klingons not have enough resources out of all the worlds that they conquer randomly throughout the galaxy? Why wouldn't they have enough resources to fix their world, the poison in their planet? No, but that was one of my big problems. So I'm so glad you mentioned it.
No, my goes to They got this one ship. It's the perfect ship that can fire while cloaked. They could have destroyed the Enterprise and Excelsior, no problem there, but they had an incompetent commander there. They're too busy spending time looking up Shakespeare quotes that he got himself destroyed by sitting in one spot there. But the Eco done strafing runs on the Enterprise and on the Excelsior there and destroyed both the ships. He could probably take out the entire Federation defenses there because by the time they figure out where the heck he's at, they're gone.
Come on, no. The plot of this movie is that they have the bird of prey that cloaks, and they want to frame the Federation. They want to frame the greatest hero of Starfleet for attempting, or not frame the Federation, but frame Starfleet for trying to disrupt a peace initiative, thusly putting the two at war. And Klingons at this point, and also it's been hinted at in other series and whatnot, Klingons thrive through conflict. And so that is the anticipation. And when you incorporate the Starfleet officers who are part of the conspiracy to make this war happen, it's because they think that they have a tactical advantage, as pointed out by Colonel West. It's like, yeah, if they want war, we will kick their butts.
But what about at the end of the movie there, when their plan pretty much got spoiled there? They could have taken out the Enterprise and the Excelsior and still still had the assassination at the end. There.
Well, but you needed the intelligence gathering of Kirk and McCoy to make it all sort of like they're in search of the people who are going to be able to tell them who is involved, so that they don't just run in and say, "Everybody stop!" Like they needed to do stuff. I'm being very vague because I forget exactly what the specifics like. So Kirk and McCoy beam over to the Bird of Prey after Chancellor Gorkon is shot by the men in gravity boots. And so that comes out at the trial. And Spock puts on the Viridian patch, which is nice. I think there was another Viridian patch in another Star Trek that I saw recently. I forget what it was, but it was a nice reference to the Viridian patch. It might have been a Voyager.
Yeah.
Was it a Discovery? It might have been a Discovery.
Yeah.
Hey,
and
sorry.
Where was this? And where was this technology during the Dominion War? I'm pretty sure they could have used it.
The Viridian patch?
No, the fire, the ship firing while cloaked.
No, but that was the prototype. They don't have any others, so it's just gone.
So no one decides to write down the schematics.
The people who created it.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Like everybody who knows how to work that ship was on it.
Yeah, everybody was on that ship.
Well, you think someone would have written down the schematics at least in case something happened?
Well, it was too easy to overcome. Everybody knows just
Jinx bird.
fire a torpedo with a tailpipe detector.
Well, and actually, now that you mention it, it was probably a giant leap forward into detecting or getting through cloaking devices.
That's true.
Yeah.
Also, I do appreciate all of the reuses of the Next Generation sets for this movie. They really saved a lot of money on this movie.
Oh,
yeah. But
I don't care what they say. Chang is a badass.
Totally.
Anybody who can get an eye patch bolted to his head is badass.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Anyhow, that was my biggest gripe there. I got to get going to eat there because I'm getting hangry.
Okay, thank you so much for hanging out for a minute.
Yeah, I'll be listening and all that. I just
here. Tell us about your channel. You can go have lunch or whatever.
Okay, well, I'll be listening. I'm gonna be probably taking there might be a big gap in my streams here because I might have to go down to Texas, so I don't know yet. But otherwise, I got a lot of shorts. Walter's review tonight, Babylon 5 Saturdays. Sunday, we're watching Roadhouse, and then if I don't have to go to Texas, End of the Effing World on Wednesdays.
End of the effing world. Wow. Okay.
Gilligan Island?
Yeah.
Then
right?
Then I've been playing Rome Total War lately, so. All right, but I gotta get to go eat lunch. Thanks, Jill.
Okay, you're welcome.
Take
Have
care,
a good
girl.
day.
Yep.
See ya.
And yeah, Scotty's right. The TNG sets were used for this movie. They used Data's quarters for Kirk and Spock's quarters. And they used the Enterprise D transporter room for the transporter room.
It is flat out the engine room from TNG.
And the sick bay.
Oh, wow.
I did not know that.
And Beverly Crusher's office was the laboratory.
What was it? The Federation President's office is 10 forward.
No.
Yep.
Wow.
And also, back to Chang and how badass do you have to have your eye patch bolted to your skull? Each one of those little bolts, and it shows up really well on the even on the Blu-ray, but I haven't seen the 4K. Each one of those little bolts has the Klingon insignia on it.
Oh, you could see it there. You could see it there.
Yeah,
on that screenshot.
Yeah. And also, General Chang, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he wears a crest of the House of Duras.
No. Whoa.
And
the Klingon crest on the rivets was done by the makeup artist just for fun, and he didn't mean. I guess it wasn't. meant to be seen? I don't know. But it says citation needed, so.
Well,
I
can
don't
you
know if it said
imagine
that.
sitting in like a theater with this face just being totally blown up huge? Like, that's just crazy cool.
Mhm.
And Shatner as well. These guys are racist.
Yeah, what is the deal with this line? I don't
Yeah.
know what it's about, and I don't like it.
Again, like when people complain about why are you making Starfleet evil, it's like it started a long time ago. People have been trying to make
but
Starfleet
not
evil for a
everybody.
while.
But not everybody. Like it didn't like implicate everyone. It was just kind of a small faction in this movie compared to what's being done nowadays.
But
Like it's
also,
just a few people that kind of caused the conflict in this movie.
maybe I'm being too harsh with it because the entire point of this movie, as Kirk says in his final soliloquy, people can be very afraid of change.
Uh-oh.
That's
Hello?
true.
Is there anybody here?
I hear.
Still here.
Am I roboting?
Testing 1, 2.
Someone say live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper.
Thank you very much. Peace and long life to you.
I think we're back.
Yep. Isn't StreamYard's wonderful?
I'm sorry, I don't mean to
I don't know.
skip ahead.
I do think this movie does kind of take it too far with the racism and stuff.
But again, it's the catharsis. It's not bolted on. He just bedazzled it.
Okay, let's leave it there for a minute and look at the chat.
Gorgeous ships.
Those ships are awesome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Princess Fiona says, I want to be a background Orion slave girl. Kind of a fantasy of the hubby.
I know. See, I recommend against it just because that's going to be a lot of green paint, like everywhere.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to clean the sheets.
Is he roboting for anyone else or?
No,
Am I roboting?
I don't know.
Am I roboting?
No, not you.
Domo arigato? No, you sound fine. You're clear as a bell.
Mr. Roboto. Domo arigato, mister.
James Caserta says, I turned into a bad Spider-Man nemesis. Okay.
I turned into a bod spider. Okay.
That lady is from Big Trouble in Little China.
Yes, it is. It's true. That is Kim Cattrall. She was also in Big Trouble in Little China. Yes.
Yep.
Admiral Teague says, a lot of people are afraid to fly too close to the brilliant flame of Roland Emmerich's Stargate.
I can't forgive them for the death of my boy.
You should watch it anyway.
I'm not gonna.
I'm gonna make you.
Ooh.
Okay, so no, I can't make him do anything. I'm just kidding. Princess Fiona says, it's still so weird to see Kurtwood Smith not playing asleep.
That was before that 70s show.
Hmm.
The Klingons are alien trash of the galaxy? I think that's the Kalon. Hey, Kazon. The Kazon. You're absolutely right.
Yep.
Wow.
The Kazon were something
Just
else.
yeah. Oh my
We're
stars. Dollar store Klingons.
Yeah.
Well, they look like they're straight from Dragon Ball Z.
Never heard him referred to that way.
Mark Carter says Chekhov could say it without being culturally aware.
I think it is a level of cultural awareness as well. I think it's more tongue in cheek when Chekhov says it, as opposed to being accusatory when Uhura says it. I think it works. I think that the exchange of the lines, and I understand the motivations of the actors. I love it. But yes, I suppose what I'm doing is taking the very long route to agree with you.
And I want to take a short route to say hello to not Anonymous.
Hey, ahoy.
Hey, Anonymous.
What are they still using 20th century cookware in the 23rd century? No Instapots?
Oh, Instapots are genius.
Nothing bothers me more than that whisk.
Admiral Teague says, I think it's based on what Pike tells the doctor when he says there's other jobs. They were showing him the other career he was considering is my take. Oh, right. Okay. So they're talking about the cage. Cool.
Nice.
That's always good. And this is also Frankel Walker's favorite TOS film. But his favorite Star Trek film of all is First Contact.
I love this Ephraim Cochrane stuff.
Yeah, right. Me too. My third favorite ship is the Phoenix.
Really? I didn't know that.
I love the beginning of space travel. And I like history.
Yep.
Admiral Teague says that one famous line there. Only Nixon could go to China. And only I could pick up my Chinese food. I'll be listening on my earbuds.
Make sure that you get an extra fortune cookie, Admiral Teague, and don't just request it. Demand it.
You know now that he's
I know.
made the order already, that he's actually going to do that.
That gave me an idea for dinner.
Nice.
I know. It's just that my husband doesn't like Chinese food, but I could get it anyway. He'll just have to suffer. Ezra says
He'll stare at you.
Yes.
he will. I'll just get him plenty of egg rolls. That always pacifies him.
Do you guys have chicken balls?
I don't know.
That sounds
I don't know. Chinese food tends to be regional. It's weird.
Mazurus argued politically that the Klingons wouldn't dare pursue the cloaking tech again after the Kittimer Accords were agreed to.
Oh, I am fairly... Well, what do you think, Raymond?
I think Next Generation proved them wrong.
Like, I think that one of the provisos of the Kittimer Accords is that both parties are allowed to maintain defensive weaponry. And I would say that one of the things, and it's addressed in the Pegasus, is that there are accords for the Federation saying we will not acquire cloaking technology.
Yeah, that was an accord with the Romulans.
Right. But again, there is a more friendly relationship between the Klingons and the Federation.
Mm-hmm.
So that the Kittimer Accords could have also had something to do with that. I don't know. I'm making up things.
Oh, but that's always fun.
Always a good theory.
Mark Harkness says, fire while cloaking, but the Federation upgrades all torpedoes. No redesign. The cloak away from that very dead end.
Fire while cloaking. No, I think that they would have done something. See, part of the reason why you can't fire when cloaked is because you can't generate enough power.
Yeah.
And so if you can fire when cloaked, you're probably releasing more emissions. And that's why they never really pursued it, because it was a dead technology, because your exhaust pipe, your tailpipe, spews too much evidence. Even if it's invisible, sensors will still detect you. Whereas the traditional cloaking device doesn't expend that much energy. And so it's not expelling that much trace elements, I suppose.
Well, we do see another ship that could fire while cloaked.
Which one?
Is the Scimitar in
True.
Nemesis.
Oh, stupid Nemesis.
Takes another 100 years for the Romulans to figure it out.
Yeah.
Well, but also the Romulans, they were the ones who came up with cloaking technology. It was an exchange between the Klingons and the Romulans that did it in the first place. So I believe the Romulans being able to fire while cloaked being, that seems like something that they would pioneer first. And it explains why the Klingons did it badly.
Which always was when Enterprise came out of nowhere and said the Suliban had cloaking technology. Did the Romulans give the Suliban the technology? Or was it vice versa?
Ooh. Well, yeah, I guess, we'll have to wait for season 5 of Enterprise to see how the Romulan War pans out.
True.
You might be waiting a little bit.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Hashtag more Bacula.
Yeah.
I'd be okay with that.
I'd be okay with that too.
Just let's give her a secret hideout. Bring in some people who care.
Mm-hmm.
Sell Star Trek to Scott Bakula.
Yes. I'm okay with that. I bet he'd figure it out.
I'm pretty sure he would too.
Yes, he would.
Princess Fiona says, I hated everything about that movie, First Contact. It trashed the lore, first of all, and I never bought the idea of some hillbilly in the boondocks inventing warp drive.
Oh.
You know, I
Wow.
love that part of the movie, so I respect your opinion, Princess Fiona, and I am
Wow.
glad you're here.
I think it makes sense for Zephram Cochrane to adopt a missile silo.
Yeah.
It's also an expelled, like this is post-nuclear war, so it's not like anybody's there. It's already been used up. Maybe it was a dud missile. I don't know. No, I'm sorry. I'm interrupting you.
No. And hillbillies are in Tennessee and West Virginia.
Not in Montana.
Not in Montana.
Princess Fiona says they reused all this stuff, but Stargate can't have one tiny explosion.
I never claimed to be a rational monkey.
I really like.
It's fine. It's not my problem. I do like.
He just did a task.
Yeah.
You read that one earlier, but now it's just hitting me with what you're saying.
It deserves twice.
I liked where Chekhov accused the character called Dax.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me too. I was like, whoa, this movie is prophetic.
Yeah. Well, other than the fact that Dax had web feet there.
Yes, you know, Russian epic of Cinderella.
Yeah. I think I saw it. Where did I see it at? It was in one of the Star Trek encyclopedias or something like that. Dax at the time was probably Tarius or some such.
It's and it's also the basis for if the gloves don't fit, you must acquit.
That's true. Yeah, because that was about that time.
When did this come out? 91?
Oh. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, about 91.
Well, we need to know for sure. This is Star Trek 5 stream.
Let me go to the dreaded Wikipedia.
IMDb. Why are you're always going to Wikipedia? Go to IMDb.
In 1991, that's right.
Okay, someone was fast.
Huzzah.
Also, I am. So I'd like to welcome to the panel Pleasant Valley Picker. Hello.
PvP.
Well, PvP.
Hi guys. How's everybody today?
All right.
Great.
Sorry I got here so late. I thought I'd be here like at least half an hour sooner, but I ended up putting in half an hour at work after.
Nice.
And hello to Lord
not
Doc.
really, because that's free overtime. But I had to get the weekend stuff finished, right? So and then of course driving home on the road I always drive on, they were pruning a giant tree, so there was like a delay of maybe at least five or 10 minutes, with all the cars backed up because it was
PvP.
One lane.
PvP. I don't mean to be rude. I am so happy to see you. I can't wait to talk about Star Trek 6: The Undiscovered Country with you, and your thoughts are valued.
But
I want to give you a hug.
When
but
someone says they don't mean to be rude, they soon will be.
Didn't we have a going away party for you last week?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Well, I didn't know if I was going to be on today, quite honestly.
I kid.
So I
it's
thought
good to
I
see
might
you,
be
sir.
working, and I will be. This will definitely be my last appearance sadly, on Jill's Friday morning show, because I'll be working 40 hours from now on for the foreseeable future. So I'm really going to miss. I'm going to miss coming on here with you guys. I really will.
Well, how do you feel about Star Trek 6?
Oh, I watched it on Wednesday night and really enjoyed it. I hadn't seen it in years, so I'd kind of forgotten some of it, especially a lot of the great dialogue and a lot of the humor. There's a lot of really good lines in this one, I thought. So, yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think it's a great movie. It's probably my second favorite TOS film next to Khan, I think, to Wrath Khan.
I think, yeah.
Oh, hello to Lemon Pie.
Lemon.
It's your second favorite too. It's also Raymond's second favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a really good movie. I think it's kind of overlooked and underrated, really, because people don't often talk about this one as much as they do, like, Wrath of Khan or even the motion picture or 3 and 4. I mean, the only one that maybe gets talked about less would be number 5, for good reason. But
That was a dream. That was a 2-hour dream sequence.
I
well,
hate you people.
that's the only way I can watch it now, to be quite honest. Because when I saw it with my friend in the theater, we walked out in shock. I think probably everybody in the audience did. Everybody was like, "What did we just see?"
There is one thing that I absolutely adore about Star Trek V, The Final Frontier, and the teaser poster for it was a picture of a theater seat with seat belts on it, with the Enterprise very small in the top corner, and it says, "The reason that they'll be installing seat belts at your local theater this summer, Star Trek V, The Final Frontier." And it is, I want that poster. I just adore it.
Yeah, they probably thought once you put the seatbelts on that they'd lock in place so you couldn't leave till the movie was over.
That's funny, PvP.
I do try to entertain.
Princess
And
Fiona
contribute.
says, "I love that." Oh wait, okay, I already
Yeah, we
read
did
that
that
one.
one.
Space
Oh,
Dog.
this is what I meant to say. Admiral Teague says, "Not even the Borg will put up with the case."
Yeah,
Oh,
the Borg would oh no, your biological and technological distinctiveness will be left at the side of the road.
So
And
how
Miss-
far in? Oh, go ahead, Jill.
Oh, we're wherever you want to be in the movie. You could talk about the end of the movie or the beginning of the
Well,
movie.
I'm just
or the
wondering. You
middle of the
haven't.
movie.
You're still got the still on here, so you haven't gone through the whole slideshow yet, right? So,
No,
Well,
I
it's-
haven't. It's just window dressing for our conversation. But you can,
oh, this
you
is
can
this
use
is
if it's
this.
something strikes you, you can talk about it.
Well, I see the boots there, so this is the assassination sequence.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love the blood.
Yeah,
Sorry,
the
that was
blood.
weird.
Yeah, the blood's so well.
Pepto-Bismol.
It's so
Wow.
well done. So well done.
Jill, excuse me, but I hear
Yes.
the clickies in the background mean a certain young man needs my
Snoop?
Yes, the Snoop needs his food.
I told you already. I have a Snoop.
Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah,
Snoopies are cool.
he has a click.
Oh,
His little pitter patter.
the
Yes.
little pitter patter.
The
I
sound
will
of-
be right back.
The sound
Okay.
of doggy toenails.
Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeedy. Oh wait. Okay, never mind. He decided to lay down.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Oh, Mr. Brown,
Right.
what do we got?
Yeah, Mr. Brown says, "Oh, could you read it, Scotty?"
To answer Gorilla, Klingons only had one prototype bird of prey. Cloaking devices were outlawed in Starfleet. After the events of this movie, Klingons and Starfleet ended the war, so no cloak bird of prey. Or at least no desire to pursue a bird of. Well, no, it just became a dead technology. Like, if you could find it, then what's the point of being cloaked? You're just a ship that we have to use sensors for instead of visual
Mhm.
targeting.
Yeah, it'd be like, what would be the point, right?
Yeah. It was a one and done. Like, unfortunately, once you figured it out, then it was a useless thing.
Mm. Hey, what was the budget for this film? Because I thought the special effects throughout were pretty damn excellent, really.
I don't know. Let me find out.
I'm checking it now.
I
Thank
imagine
you.
it was considerably
think-
more than Star Trek V.
I think it was around 30 million, but I forget.
Wow,
so I'm
that's-
glad they're checking. I'll
Boy,
let you
that's-
Yeah,
know.
I'm checking.
That seems like really low, but I guess back in those days you could really do
Well,
something
what
great.
happened was they said you can't spend any more on this movie than you spent on Star Trek V. So they got the same budget.
Ooh, and look what how different how much
Yeah.
better they did.
But also don't forget they could save a lot of money as mentioned, like through sets, because a lot of the next generation sets were used. They had an
That's
existing
true.
Oh.
Star Trek warehouse to play with.
That was pretty
Well,
smart
that
to do that.
helps then. Yeah.
Yes. Well, but also like Harv Bennett, when he did Star Trek
Oh.
2, he came from a television production background, and now I know he's not a part of this
That's what I was going to
production,
say.
but it is something that was learned from his stewardship of the franchise for a little while. It's like you don't need a lot of money to do this.
That's a good thing. Where even though he stepped away because he didn't get to do his Starfleet Academy, whatever he did before
Yes.
made an impact on the creators of this movie.
Well, and whenever I think about Harv Bennett's Starfleet Academy movie, I always imagine Star Trek 2009 now. Like, that is the movie that Harv Bennett wanted. In my opinion, that's what it seems like. Like, obviously not with there was the bracket of Kirk and McCoy looking back on their Starfleet Academy days and how they all came to meet. And then, like the 2009 movie, obviously he wouldn't, if it were the Starfleet Academy show, it wouldn't be him becoming captain of the Enterprise.
In 2 minutes.
But
excuse me.
Yeah.
The original budget hovered around 41 million. Final budget came in at 30 million.
Wow, under budget. Good work.
Well, this was directed by Nicholas Meyer, was it not?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, that's probably a good part of the reason why, because I mean, he was an excellent director, so he probably knew how to keep an eye on the cost while he was, in production. So I think it makes a difference when you got a really experienced director at the helm that, is intelligent and knows what they're doing.
Absolutely. And also, like, one who knows how to work within the constraints of a budget. And I think that I'm not saying anything original, but like creativity sort of thrives with restrictions.
I just want to say, does the D7 in this movie not look totally awesome?
Yes.
Actually,
it looks fantastic. Well, I always call it the D7 because it's pretty much the same thing, really, pretty similar. But
what is it called, Raymond?
I love the look.
The Katinga.
So what's the difference then between the Katinga? That's what, just after the D7?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I figured.
And it's got the more. It doesn't have all the smooth stuff. It looks like it's got armor plant. It looks like a D7 with armor plates just tacked onto it.
So it's kind of like a beefed up D7 in a sense, then I guess.
Yeah.
When it's front and center in your view screen, it looks like it's asking you to come at me, bro.
Well, that's what they were. Didn't they get ready to fire here, like that still that Jill had up a second ago?
Yeah, because according to the Enterprise computers, they fired.
Yeah, well, that was a smart thing Kirk did, was by surrendering, even though he regretted it shortly thereafter. But that was the only way he probably, could have avoided an all-out war at that point, right? So he kind of sacrificed himself for the good of the Federation, I would think.
This is just a weird random thought that I had, but like if I ever have the good graces to become wed, everyone is going to be wearing Wrath of Khan uniforms. That
would be cool.
Like, that's like all the groomsmen.
I still think they're the best uniforms. The uniforms are great here. I mean,
amazing.
But, another thing I think that probably saved money was Nicholas Meyer had worked with this cast, on Khan, right? So therefore, they probably had a very solid, professional working relationship, from that movie. So I imagine on set, things were like a well-oiled machine, just kind of, chugging along. And I imagine they were getting quite a bit of good, footage shot every day, I would think. So that probably helped too, because it probably saved a lot of time, right?
Well, the trust between the crew and the actors and the director, like having done Star Trek 2 and having co-written Star Trek 4, absolutely.
Yeah. This is such a great looking film too. Does anybody know offhand who the cinematographer was on this one?
Oh, I saw it, but I don't recall. We'll have to leave our fate in the hands of the diplomats.
Because I think this might be the best looking of the six Star Trek films. Like, some of the cinematography I thought was very, very good.
The Chancellor of the High Council is dead.
That's a cool looking Chancellor. President.
I love the lamp. I love lamp.
Actually, the Chancellor was cool looking too. They're both cool looking, really.
Is he the same species as the helmsman in Star Trek 4 on the Saratoga that gets...
Obviously.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted confirmation. They all... Sorry, was that like...
Not racist.
No, okay, thank you.
Is that John Shuck, a Klingon?
Yes,
you'll remember him from Macmillan and Wife.
I remember him, definitely, yeah. Even with the makeup, he's instantly recognizable.
He was in the movie MASH.
Yes, he was the one who Who's going to kill himself?
Suicide is Painless. The
Suicide.
song, the
Oh,
theme
really?
song to
Wow.
MASH.
I did not realize that. Boy, he was a lot younger then, obviously. So I don't.
And now that you mention it, Rene Auberjonois was in MASH.
Yes,
Really?
he was. He was.
Yes, he was, wasn't he? Yeah.
He was Dago Red.
I haven't seen that movie.
He was Father Mulcahy.
Yeah.
You know where else Rene Auberjonois shows up in?
That's right.
Benson.
Stargate SG-1.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
He's also the chef from The Little Mermaid.
Well, he did a lot of stuff, didn't
Yes,
he, during
he
his
did.
career? Wow. Good actor. Great
Yes,
actor,
he was.
really.
He was on Boston Legal with Denny Crane or William Shatner.
Ooh. I still have never got around to watching that show, but I know I should because it's supposed to be pretty good.
It is.
And that's the one that Shatner won his Emmy for, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It always fascinates me that it's Emmy-winning actor William Shatner. I never thought I would see the day, and I'm so proud of him.
Well, I always thought, I get so tired of people who are always saying, Shatner's a hack or Shatner overacts all the time or Shatner can't act. I mean, that's all BS as far as I'm
Yes, it
concerned.
is.
I think
Yeah.
he's a superb actor. I mean, sure, there's a handful of bad episodes in TOS, and that seems to be what the haters always, bring up, right? But look at how many great episodes of TOS there are where Shatner is like, as Kirk is like subtle, intelligent, forceful, brave, heroic. I mean, he just brings
Sexy,
the character
charming,
to life. Exactly.
charismatic.
The whole package.
He actually did a episode, and this is dating myself. He actually did an episode of 12 O'Clock High, and where he plays an a Canadian/American pilot who, in reality, was a German and was definitely sympathetic to the Nazis. He dies in the movie, but he dies in the program. But
I think I remember that one vaguely.
Raymond, I have to ask you very specifically, if I can see you at camera 2 for just one moment. I need to find a box set of the 12 O'Clock High television show. My dad has been asking for it for like 2 years.
It's actually a really good show, Scott.
It's got Robert Lansing in it, who played Gary Seven from Assignment Earth. So, if you have any information to that, if you could tweet me or whatever, I haven't been able to find a place to get it on physical media.
I actually saw it. They actually have the whole series on YouTube, and that's where I saw it.
No, I know, but he won't. My dad won't watch anything unless it's on a disc.
I actually don't know if it's ever been officially released. It's one of those shows that kind of slips through the cracks, so to speak, So I'm sure if there actually has been an actual studio release of that.
I'll DM you. I'll DM you, Scotty.
If you find anything, I would greatly appreciate it. It's not for me; it's for a friend of mine.
There are some good actors in that show, though. I remember Roy Thinnis, who played David Vincent in The Invaders, did an episode of 12 O'Clock High. He was really great in it.
We have, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Michael Dorn as his own grandfather.
Canonizes Worf.
And it also in the deleted scenes, he stabs someone in the back.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, back when Michael Dorn had good material to work with, right?
Oh, Michael Dorn elevates all the material he works with.
Well, I think you'd need a lift to elevate the recent.
No, I don't care, man. No, I will absolutely draw a line in the sand and say that one of the pleasures of watching Picard season 3 is seeing the actors. And whether or not you think that they are the characters, being able to see my 7 favorite people from the Next Generation together to play together, I think that's a joy.
Well, maybe if I have it on mute, then yes.
If it brings
that's
you joy,
fine. Put it on mute. I do that all the time.
Thing is, I watched 5 of them and it brought me no joy.
Well,
so I guess it depends on your
they really don't get the band back together until the last half of the season.
I still do plan on watching the rest of them one of these days, but it's probably going to be a while because I'm going to be very, very busy.
Say what you will about the characterization or the modulation of the character of Worf. It is nice to see Michael Dorn be
I thought it was. I don't know. I felt a little depressed, quite frankly, watching all my favorite actors. A lot of my favorite
Well,
actors, like
well,
old.
Scotty, it hit on my point is that they behave completely out of character. But is it nice to see the people that I care about who played TNG characters? Sure. But if I
yeah.
really need to do that, I'll go to a convention.
Or watch TNG.
Well, I'm
Or
glad
watch
they're
the
still
Next
alive
Generation. Yeah,
and are
exactly.
still acting still. So that's a
But then
plus,
there's
of
also
course.
this.
Yes, there's a trial. How could these men be walking if there was no gravity?
Well, no, actually, I have something else.
Oh, you have something better?
Well,
No,
it's
don't
not
wait for the
better.
translation. Answer me now.
Dorn was great in that scene.
Because I'm sitting on the set of the operation, and you and Herman Zimmerman were walking by, and they said, "Oh, hey, Mike, how you doing? Oh, this is Nick Meyer. Oh, by the way, they wrote a part for you in the movie." I went, "Oh, okay." And that's so. It was a real surprise for me, but it was also a great honor because that was the last movie where all the original actors were there, and there was a scene that the final scene where they're doing the speech and it's in a big auditorium, and I'm sitting across from the original guys, and they're all sitting there in their chairs, and it just hit me all of a sudden. I just went, "Oh my God, they're Sulu! Oh my God!" It was just, kind of. It was so. I've been fortunate that.
That's cool.
That's amazing. I never thought about that.
Well, just think. I mean, he must have been sitting there thinking, "I'm witnessing history here."
He's not witnessing it. He's a part of it.
Yes, he is.
He's worked with
that too. Yeah,
the best actors in Star Trek history. TOS and DS9.
He has discussed the character of Worf with Gene Roddenberry. Michael Dorn has.
Oh, I have great respect for Michael Dorn. I think he's an excellent actor.
Yes, he is.
No argument.
Because I don't, love the recent stuff doesn't mean I've lost any respect for him. I think.
Oh no, come on! I'm not asking you to.
No, but I think he's a fabulous actor, and he seems like a really nice guy too, right? So that's also great.
Yes.
Oh, there's Eye Patch Man. What was it? What was his name?
Eye Patch Man.
Eye Patch Man.
I'm trying to remember his
That's
name.
his
Was
real
it?
name.
Was it?
Or with his head. With his head.
I do want to.
Was it
like
Chang? I can't.
It is
remember.
Chang,
Okay, I thought it was Chang.
played by the great Canadian Christopher Plummer.
That's what I was going to mention. I mean,
there it is. Stop. There it is.
Great performances.
If you get the image of Chang looking up.
I don't know what images I got because we were watching this movie and I didn't.
Cool. Can you go back like 2 or 3?
My slides are not as good because I was watching. I didn't pause to take slides.
Oh,
like
your
I
slides are
usually do,
fine,
so-
Jill.
Can you go back 2 or 3? There it is. There it is.
That's cool.
So, okay. So on Chang's chest there, that glyph in the middle of the circle on where his collarbone would be, that is the like mark of the House of Duras. Am I incorrect?
Let me.
I never even noticed when I watched it. It went by so quick.
From what I understand, I could be incorrect, but that is something that for some reason, it sticks in my noggin.
Let's see.
You do seem to think that. So if someone could corroborate that, that'd be really fun.
I would love it if someone would tell me I was wrong.
I have no idea about
could
the
be
house
wrong.
symbols, unfortunately.
Thanks, Jill. That was easy.
It does not look. It does not look like it, according to Memory Alpha.
Okay, I accept that. I am incorrect. I will drop it from my memory banks.
Maybe it's the symbol for his bowling team back on Klingon.
Well, it will. Pardon me.
Oh, you okay, Scotty?
You broke Scotty, PvP.
Oh no. Oh my goodness, Scotty's having a coughing attack. I know what that's like. I get.
Go
those
back,
types of
Jill.
times.
Go back real quick to the translator.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Translator.
Yeah, where they're holding the little translators.
Forward or back?
Right
These
there.
little things?
Yeah.
Right there.
At
Yeah.
first glance, those look like the bat communicators from Batman 66. I wonder if they restart.
Oh, you can see it better there.
You think they might have just actually still existed and they just had the props and they just used
That's
them?
what I was thinking. I mean, that looks
Wow.
just like it.
That would be really cool if it was, but I don't know how. I mean, unless somebody writes a book or something, I don't know how we'll ever know. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
So the chat's been going wild, so I gotta
Nice
go
point.
for
Though.
some
That's
stars
good.
here. Admiral Teague says, I'm not allowed in the burger place anymore from demanding ketchup. So
Demanding
maybe-
ketchup. I mean,
Well, right.
if you buy a burger, shouldn't they give you ketchup? Wow, customer service is gone.
Demand it. I demand it.
That's excellent.
That's where he was doing that.
That's awesome. Anyway,
And
don't let me
Princess
stop you from
Fiona
reading.
says they did have an oscillation overthrusted in the Phoenix and Steppenwolf, the only two redeeming qualities. Well, I'm glad you at least like the ship itself, even if you don't like how they rewrote, well, maybe not rewrote, but imagined Zephram Cochrane.
Yeah, well, I liked when they played Steppenwolf. That was cool.
Yeah.
And Branko Walker says nearly 40 minutes before the panel knew I was here. I thought that was funny.
Oh,
Hi,
Well,
Frank.
I said hello.
Well, because I gotta get the show. It's just the way I do things.
What's wrong? What did I miss?
Susan Dolan says, "Can you ask Jill if it's all right to mention my channel I do on cats? I feed in order to keep mice out of my place." Thank you.
Oh, that sounds like an
Alright.
interesting channel.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, hey, Susan Dolan. I don't know your channel link, so I'd need to know what's the name of your channel so I can look it up. And
channel
yeah, I'll put
Mice-
it in there.
The channel Mice Fear to Watch.
And
Massacre.
says, if you're really interested in history, then you should know that Zephram Cochrane is from Alpha Centauri, not some hillbilly man.
Whoa.
That is contentious.
Oh.
Because she's talking about the episode Metamorphosis.
But again, I understand Princess Fiona's distaste for the movie First Contact in terms of being negative to canon. So based on what is presented in Metamorphosis, if you wish to dismiss First Contact, then you are absolutely correct.
Well, you know, one thing I've always wondered about Zephram Cochrane's character is, I mean, his character in Metamorphosis is so drastically different than it is in First Contact. It doesn't even seem like the same person, like psychologically or anything, right?
No, but he's not. And that's the thing that I accept about it, because he was an old man. Like, how old was he in First Contact? He was
Well,
like
he
in his
said he
late
was ready to
50s.
die in Metamorphosis, right?
Well, but
So-
yeah, and so it's 30 years later in Metamorphosis in terms of how old he was when he went off and was collected by the companion.
Well, that's what I just wonder. When he landed and found the companion, when the companion rejuvenated him, did it actually kind of transform him in a way too into a somewhat different person?
No, but
they did.
After Zephram Cochrane launched the Phoenix, he gave up booze. Like, he basically redirected his life because the flight of the Phoenix changed him. Everything that he was making fun of while he was preparing to launch the Phoenix, that Riker was like, don't try and be a great man, just be a man and let history be the judge. That comes true.
Once he achieved his goal and knew it was going to be successful, it changed him as a person.
He was the first person to meet a Vulcan. He was the first human to shake hands with a Vulcan.
That would kind of change your life, yeah.
I know. And so he stopped drinking and he did become more philosophical. He did become more like he enjoyed
that
it.
Makes sense. Okay.
So when he was flying, and the understanding, this is what I have, Princess Fiona, is that Zephram Cochrane retired to Alpha Centauri. And then when he was seeing the twilight of his years, he wanted to die in space, as he said in Metamorphosis. And when he was dying in space, that is when the companion found him. He didn't land on the planet. The companion found him and kept him alive and brought Zephram Cochrane to that little planetoid in that asteroid belt.
Like it brought the shuttlecraft to the planet. Okay.
Well, as we first meet the companion in Metamorphosis, the companion's flying through space and saying, "Okay,
Yeah.
we need you. Come here."
Yeah.
And so that's basically what it did.
It wanted human companions for Cochrane, right?
Well,
because
it's kind of
was kind of lonely, right?
I would say that the companion views initially like a bird. Okay, so have you ever seen a bird fly into a window and then you're like, I don't know what to do. It's got a broken wing, and you try and heal it back so that it can go and do whatever again. And that's how I figured the companion. I think that's how the companion views Ephraim Cochrane in terms of, oh no, I found a hurt animal. I'm going to nurse it back to health. And then the relationship developed because it was it was a sentient being interacting with a sentient being. I think.
So, so you think that the companion thought of Cochrane as like a pet at first?
At first, but he was alive for like 200 years, so I think that the relationship evolved.
Okay, maybe. I don't know. That seems a little weird.
Okay,
but...
excuse me.
The whole thing is ridiculous.
Oh, wait a minute.
I love that episode. It's not ridiculous. It's beautiful.
Raymond has something, guys.
I'm gonna get going. I'm gonna step away for a moment.
Okay, to help us. Okay.
Hopefully, we'll be talking about Star Trek 6.
Yeah,
I hope so.
Eventually.
Yes,
but
sorry.
If this continues into next week, I'll have to miss the last part.
I feel like I need another 3 hours for this.
We still have plenty of time, though, Jill.
I know. Gorilla's Random Thought says, "Why do you need a tailpipe in space?" I thought that was a joke, but I'm not sure.
Well, no, a tailpipe, like in terms of an exhaust system on a starship.
Yeah, exhaust because of the gas used in the Klingon ship. But somebody else can explain that better.
Whatever you're, when you generate it, when you burn a fuel, there must be an exhaust, a way to expel the waste from that chemical reaction, or what? So that's what you need a tailpipe in space for.
I need to learn more about the propulsion systems of a Klingon ship. I don't know.
Oh, wait, we have a clip for this.
We do?
Yes. Hang on a second. You keep talking. I'll find it and then interrupt.
Okay, Mark Harkness says, hated cloaks in Enterprise. Till then, I liked the explanation given in the novel Final Frontier. Kirk's father invented the IDEA of a cloak to bluff a Romulan invasion. Roms took a generation to invent it for real.
Nice.
It's all real. Oh my God, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it.
Right?
Yes. No, well, I guess.
Ish.
Oh man, I wish I would have. I'm looking for where I am in the chat. I'm so lost. Okay, there it is.
I gotta drop off.
Okay.
But thank you so much for having me up.
Wait a minute. Don't go yet. Hold on. Do you have any final thoughts on the movie? And also tell us about your channel, please.
Obviously, this is certainly one of my favorite original series movies. I mean, 2, 4, and 6 are so high up there. It's hard for me to pick. But generally, I pick 4 as top and 6 as a very close second, and 2 as a very close third. So one of my favorites. I can watch and rewatch it all the time. Obviously, I feel a lot of people probably think the same, whether they think it's their best or their second best. Either way. Just love to talk about it all the time. Thank you for having me up.
Welcome. Thank you for
Play 5
being here.
channel. Check it out if you haven't. I live stream Monday and Fridays. Bed Life. Wednesdays we'd watch an Enterprise episode, and Sundays we watch Twilight Zone. And then I occasionally upload Trek reviews or videos on other days. So thanks for having me, and Kapla all.
Kapla.
Yeah, Kapla Bird. It's nice to meet you. I don't think I've ever got the opportunity to chat with you before, and I do watch your channel at times. I have seen your bed life and your
We
Twilight Zone
had to have
dreams.
chatted.
I don't know.
You
I
don't
mean,
think
I
so?
chatted with so many people. I can't always remember.
I think on somebody's channel
It might have been maybe a while
talked
ago.
before.
Yeah. But
Well,
yeah,
Bert is one of my favorite
it's
YouTubers,
cool
so I'm
that you're
always so
here.
excited when he can be here.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And I'll be back another day.
Correct.
Yay!
Okay, we'll see you one of these days.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
make sure to check out Bed Life today at 3 p.m. Central when this live stream ends.
What day is today?
It's
Today
Friday.
is the day before tomorrow.
Oh,
And
I'm
the
looking
day
forward to
after
that.
And the day
It's
after
tomorrow
yesterday, it's Friday.
Eve.
And the day after yesterday.
True.
Exactly.
Today is the yesterday you worried about tomorrow.
Yesterday's tomorrow.
I have a son.
Well, have a great day, Bird.
Take care.
and
Thank you.
Yeah, have a good one.
You
Bert.
too.
Cheers.
Bye.
Morn.
Morn? Who mourns for Morn?
Are we still talking about the episode, or it seems to
I was
have
hoping.
disappeared here?
No, we're not going to talk about it anymore because
Oh, no.
We don't talk about it ever.
Well,
this
I
is
guess
actually the problem is that like once Kirk and McCoy go over to the bird of prey, it's all dream.
Bird of prey.
Yeah, when Kirk and McCoy are beamed over to try and save Chancellor Gowron or Gorkin.
Yeah, but it's not a bird of prey.
Yeah, it is. Oh, sorry, you're right. My mistake. It's the Katinga.
Katinga class.
And yeah, no, after that, it's all a dream.
Cool word. Well, it might as well be, because actually for me, kind of the middle part when they're on that ice world or whatever, I forget.
Rurapente.
Yeah, I can never remember that name. But to me, that's kind of, well, it's good, but I don't know. I found it a little bit draggy in spots when they got there.
Oh, but yeah, I can understand that. I'm not against you on that one. There's a reason why this is like a second favorite or a third favorite.
Scotty, I do think rewatching it again a couple days ago, I actually did enjoy it a lot more than I had, the earlier previous times when I'd watched the film. So I actually think it's not that bad sequence now. It was kind of fun, actually.
Did you find it odd that if you kick an alien in its genitals, they glow? Did you think that was strange as a physiological function?
Well, I don't know what kind of aliens have, genitals in their knees. So I really
when Kirk gets into a fight on Rurapente.
But I thought that was hilarious.
It happened in the movie.
I'm also thinking, like, that's a really bad spot to put your genitals.
I just don't understand how sex works for those aliens.
Well, you got two sets of genitals, one on each knee, I'm guessing.
That's weirder.
So when you're mating with your female counterpart,
I don't even know. Let's not.
You're like knee to knee.
It's Friday, but it's still Friday afternoon. Let's not get into the mating rituals.
Well, you brought it up.
I did. It's my fault.
I'm just thinking, when you bring something up and it's like, okay, now my mind wants to rationally analyze this, right?
Well, mine too.
I won't, but
be technical, be clinical.
It was just basically done for a cheap laugh, right?
Essentially, yes.
Let's face it, but it was
But
funny.
it's weird. It's weird that when you kick the person in the genitals, they glow.
Well, I don't
know. It was just strange.
I don't know. It just wasn't that big a deal to me. Like, it was
clearly it's haunted my dreams.
Yeah. Well, I suppose,
Oh my heavens.
Anyway, back on.
No, but Princess Fiona has a perfect answer. Mine glow when I see Tom Selleck.
Wow.
Well,
that's the kind of interesting.
Well, do you think it's a function of being in the dark and so that you can find things? I don't know.
Oh, it sounds like Fiona only watches Tom Selleck in the dark.
Does she prefer Tom Selleck as Magnum with the mustache or without the mustache?
I think they're both handsome men.
Oh, an answer to your question, Pleasant Valley Picker Princess Fiona had. Hiro Narita was the cinematographer for this.
Nice
film.
work.
Okay.
Nice work.
Thank you, Princess Fiona.
And I'm back.
Oh, welcome
Yay!
back. I'm so glad you're back.
And Donnie Pearson is here.
Hey, Donnie.
Hey,
Hello
Donnie.
to Donnie Pearson. He's awesome.
He's more phenomenal.
All right, that's what he is.
That's what I heard.
Okay, did we get back into?
Yes.
We're trying to.
We did, but somehow they got onto the tangent of glowing knees.
Oh yeah, I
Well, that
remember
was
that.
Scotty.
Not everybody. Not
That was
everybody
Scotty being
carries the.
Scotty.
And I didn't bring it up. PvP brought up her repentance.
Not everybody has their genitalia
anyway.
in the right spot.
True. You know, and
in the same
Raymond,
spot.
Raymond. So PvP thinks that there are genitals on both knees.
Well, didn't it seem to be in the movie?
Like symmetry.
Mm-hmm.
I think
So.
that would make sex extremely complicated. I don't know.
Probably.
Well, okay, so here's what I'm thinking. When these species, I think the male of the species have, or you know what, I think that one of the procreating genders of this species has their genitals on the front of their knees, and I think that the other part of the procreating genders they have their genitals on the back of their knees. That's how you can tell their biological reproductive patterns. And so when they do achieve coitus, then that's how it goes. It goes from front of knee to back of knee, and that's how these aliens reproduce.
So that gives new meaning. That gives new meaning to the word bumping knees.
Yay!
That's where they came up. That's where they came up with the saying. They watched this
My goodness.
episode.
Well, that's an interesting theory, Scotty, but should we get back to the movie eventually?
Yeah, right.
This is part of the movie.
It is part of the movie.
Yeah, but have we dwelt on?
So
I think we've closed the case.
So wait a minute.
Well,
But you're right. You're right, PvP. You're right, PvP. Sulu's in other information about this news. This is the first time we hear Sulu's first name, Hikaru, and also the first time we hear Kirk's middle name, Tiberius, in live action.
Yep.
It was animated series, wasn't it? When they said Tiberius? Yeah.
On BEM.
Oh, I guess the only reason that episode is good.
Yeah.
Hey,
he's a colony creature.
Jill, bringing up this little details that they put in this movie, do you think the writers were kind of like trying to throw in some little tidbits, just to sort of like wrap it up in a nice little bow at the end, since they knew that this was the last journey of our original beloved crew, and they wanted to throw a few of these things into the movie?
What kind of things?
Well, like Sulu's first name and and all that stuff, right?
Definitely.
Like mentioning Tiberius, and I thought that was kind of fun.
Well, no, but it's interesting that you bring that up. Absolutely, because you see movies now, like, and bad example, but just an example that I have, like Solo, the Han Solo movie with Alden Ehrenreich or whatever, and it just shows him getting all he's on a fetch quest to collect all the things that he's going to have in Star Wars. Han Solo is, and but with Star Trek 6, when it's like it's something that people wondered. What is Sulu's first name? Does Sulu have a first name? I don't know how naming conventions work in the future. And when they did give the first name, and they did it in the novels beforehand, but this is the first time on screen. And it's the same thing that they did in 2009 when they re-established in canon, to a certain extent, I apologize, that Uhura's first name is Nyota. And it's just it's a question that people have, but it is, and it's respectful. Like all the answers to these. What are their first names? Like they were respectful to the things that had come before, like with Tiberius being in the animated series. Hikaru was in I think a novel or two in terms of what his name was, and then it was established on screen. I think that could be apocryphal. I could be talking out of my bum.
I do think it was a nice touch that the writers
Glad you
were
make that
intelligent and thoughtful enough to throw some of these things in, just to kind of give a little bit to us fans. Since we were probably kind of sad that this was the last time we were going to take a journey with our beloved cast and crew here, And yeah, I thought it was really kind of sweet the way they threw some of that stuff in the film, actually.
Well, and this movie really reminds me that the linchpin of the crew, for me, is Dr. McCoy.
Oh, I thought DeForest was great in this film, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I do love when he tries to save the Chancellor.
Oh, that's a great scene. It's very powerful. Like, it's just once again, I'll say it. It's like people who don't think, Star Trek has great acting. Well, they're wrong, because McCoy's, DeForest performance, as he's trying to save the Chancellor, was just incredibly powerful. I thought it was a great performance, that scene.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Not enough, and also it's a fun sort of change of pace to have a Kirk and McCoy pairing.
Yeah, well, that was nice. Yeah, that was nice. Yeah.
Like usually you get if you're writing lazy Star Trek, then it's always Kirk and Spock.
Usually.
Yeah. Like that's why I liked Who Mourns for Adonais, is that it was like more of a Kirk with Scotty and Chekhov, which is not something you see very often.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah.
Also, A Private Little War.
Yeah, that's a good one too. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, McCoy had to be there when the Magato, bit Kirk, right? He had,
What are these things called again, Jill? They're mastiffs. They're jackal mastiffs.
Yeah.
They were nasty looking.
We came up with better names for them though.
Saber-tooth Targ.
Saber-tooth Targ. I liked Woolly Targ.
Woolly Targ too.
Who's the actor who plays the warden?
I
forget his name, but he was in.
His name.
Okay.
He was really good.
He was in Gettysburg. He was in.
He was in Max Headroom. He played Ira Graves from the Next Generation episode.
But I can't.
The Schizoid Man.
And he's the father of a character, the lawyer in Battlestar Galactica.
Oh.
Wow.
But for the life of me, I don't remember his last name.
He's got like an initial in there, I think. I'll find out. It's disrespectful. I think he recently was awesome. So I'm gonna find out who the guy is.
Awesome.
Yes.
He was recently awesome.
Matt Brewer says
no.
No, not Matt Brewer.
No, Matt Brewer was Matt Brewer. He was Berlinghoff Rasmussen in the time travel episode. Was Matt Brewer, and Max Headroom. He was also. Sorry.
We've finally got to Iman here.
Oh yeah.
Is it Iman or is it Iman?
I don't know. I've always pronounced it Iman because that's the way it looks to me when I read it. So Mrs. David Bowie. Yeah,
Mrs. David Bowie.
Because she was actually married to David for I think the last 24 years of his life before he passed on.
Ladies and gentlemen, the warden of Rurapente is played by William Morgan Shepherd.
Yes. Okay.
I don't recognize the name, but I thought it was a great performance.
Yes, he's a great performer.
Every time he shows up, you'll know.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Yeah, he was really good in the film, even though he had a very small part, but he was still really good.
Yeah.
And you're right, Princess Fiona. I don't see any Instapots.
Whisks. There's no reason for a whisk to exist in the first place. Are you scrambling eggs? Use a whisk. That's it. That's all. That's everything.
I usually just use a fork, actually.
Yeah.
Exactly. See, the whisk is redundant.
It is kind of not one of those things you use a lot, isn't it?
So hard to clean.
I want to know why the kitchen has all those blinky computer lights. Yeah. I wish I had a kitchen with blinky computer lights.
Well, the thing is, whatever happened to the food processors that take in
true.
They take in the original series. They take the whatever they have in their supply.
Well, you see
turn
them
them into cubes and stuff.
You see them in the background.
Are they here? Okay, good.
Yeah,
Oh, here we
Hey,
go.
this is the guy who has knee sex.
Oh,
I wonder if he pees through his knees.
actually, you know,
no.
Scotty, your theory
Probably.
about the females of the species having the genitals on the back of the knees makes more and more sense when I look at that dude's face.
I didn't specify.
Because I don't think any woman would want to be looking at that.
How do you know that isn't a woman? It's an alien.
I'm guessing it's a guy. It looks like a guy to me.
Well, they had a deep voice.
Anyway, let's not get into the whole gender thing. Oh, please, let's.
You started it.
Yeah, you did.
I didn't mean to.
You said that was a man, and I was like, I didn't ask. I don't know that alien's pronouns.
Well, he's pretty huge and aggressive, so I thought he was masculine, right? But
I know, but I'm a She-Hulk fan. That kind of turns me on.
Maybe it knows She-Hulk personally, and they.
Maybe she's had it in the knee before.
Anyway,
I'm sorry. We'll stop. Yes, please.
Please, can we just continue?
Yeah.
Please, Jill, take command. Communications officer.
Yes.
If you're still with us.
I'm
Jill
here.
has left the building.
I'm still here.
Good.
I just don't have anything to add to that.
Well, and this is where Martia, not a changeling.
No.
What is she? A cameloid.
Cameloid.
What is a cameloid? I've never heard of that until this movie. What is
Yes.
What is that?
I think
Just
they probably made it up.
Another shapeshifter.
Well, and also I think when
Basically.
Mr. Brown was, I'm not sure if Mr. Brown is still here, but he brought up the fact that the CGI blood that was going on in the assassination scene. This is also like CGI transformation when Martia is the cameloid and goes from being like Mrs. David Bowie to being a Yeti to being Dakota Fanning to being William Shatner.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
But
Actually,
it's kind of like the music video, the Michael Jackson music video, Black or White, at the end when it's like the people morphing into each other. It's that kind of special effect, which is cool. It was popular at the time. I think it did well. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Christian Slater.
I think it looks okay though for its time, right? It's maybe
For sure
nowhere near as good as what we'd expect now, but I thought it was, it was very well done for.
Oh, that is Christian Slater.
Yeah, Christian. I knew I recognized that guy.
Yeah, Christian Slater.
Pump up the volumes, Christian Slater.
I could not place him when I was watching it the other night, but that's definitely him. Yeah.
Well, and I think, and if I remember this tale correctly, there is something to be said about family members. There was like, we have his aunt or something was working on Star Trek 6, and it was like, do you want to be in a Star Trek movie? And he was like, yes.
It was his mom.
It was his mom.
Oh, okay.
Jill, you know the story.
Okay, tell us, Jill. Tell us, fill us in.
That's all I know.
Oh.
And so, but the payment for him being in this movie is the uniform that he's currently wearing on screen. He just said, I will do it for free as long as I get to keep the uniform. And they said, okay.
Well, there's how Nicholas Meyer saved some money in the budget again.
You know what? That's probably like a $1,500 suit.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, but they'd already
fitted and.
But they
for one day of work with 3 lines.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he was a fairly known actor at the time, so
absolutely
that probably was actually getting him cheap, Yeah.
Well, we had Mrs. David Bowie.
Well, I used to have a clip on here of him in the car in True Romance, and they were talking about how one of them were going to be actors in something with William Shatner.
T.J. Hooker.
Yeah, T.J. Hooker. Yeah, and they were so excited. You're going to meet Captain Kirk, and I used to have that in the clips. But StreamYard only lets you have 100 clips, so sometimes I have to prune clips.
T.J. Hooker was a good show. I like T.J. Hooker. It was fun.
Yeah.
I don't think I've actually ever seen a full episode.
It's actually a really fun show. I mean, it's your basic, police procedural type of thing, but Shatner's really good in it. And I think it's
James
Heather Locklear in the cast. Like, she's nice eye candy, and she's good actor too.
And
Adrian Zmed.
Oh,
Yeah, that
aliens
guy.
in that. Okay.
That guy.
No, James Darren was also in it too.
Yes,
True story.
James
True
Darren,
story.
Who was in
Yes.
time? Who was in Irwin Allen's time tunnel?
Well,
Yep.
he was also Vic Fontaine.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
So Captain Kirk and Vic Fontaine, that's a holodeck program. TJ Hooker is a holodeck program.
TJ Hooker was a fun show. I watched quite a few of them, and it was a lot of fun. Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Leonard Nimoy showed up in an episode
Leonard
of
Nimoy
TJ
showed
Hooker.
up as a bad guy, and Shatner
Okay.
busted him.
All right.
Hey,
Anyway,
this is Dax.
Magnetic
This
boots.
is Dax.
Dax.
But
We don't
which
see
one?
Dax for a minute though.
Not
Oh
the same
right.
Dax in Deep Space
It can't
Nine.
be. No, it can't be.
No. And there was some question when people finally realized, when people started paying attention to Dax, crewman Dax, they were like, is that one of the hosts of Dax that we know? And
I mentioned it earlier. Yeah, besides the feet.
Yeah, fugly feet.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Well, another good joke. Actually, yeah, I thought the humor in this film was really quite a lot of fun. There was a lot of
I wonder
jokes.
If the boots fit.
Yeah.
No, but I wonder if crewman Dax, I don't know what species he is, but I wonder if he uses his feet to work the controls because he's more dexterous with his feet. Well, it's not a joke. It's an actual question.
No.
Like this is alien entomology. Like remember we like in the beginning of Spock's World, the novel, and they talk about how there is a Horta on the crew and how it can interact with technologies differently than how humans can. And or dex like with hands, they actually seep in and affect the circuitry directly. And so it's interesting to, if you're thinking about a federation with a multitude of alien species, then this is like Beast from X-Men, and he's got to be doing something awesome with this. I bet he can finish a Rubik's Cube in like 7 seconds.
Okay, so then he has special consoles at the bottom of his feet, and he can do extra stuff. He does stuff with his hands, but also his feet. But he needs a kind of braille at the bottom so he can read the buttons.
No, okay, please.
How does a Horta interact with the controls on a starship?
Well, because they're like rock, they're silicone based, and they can extend tendrils.
Yeah, have you seen the Orville PvP?
Okay.
Oh,
I've
I've seen some of it.
Like
Why
Yaphet.
was there a Horta on the Orville?
No, there was Yaphet.
Okay.
Okay, I want to get away from these feet now.
If I may, based on the
yes, please.
Based on the Star Trek Encyclopedia, at the time this was going on, the host was either the Dax host was either Emily or Audrey. So there's no way this guy could have been a host.
When did Emily release the symbiont? Because Emily met Dr. McCoy.
McCoy, yeah, it met Dr. McCoy. So,
but that would have been
probably during the original series. So this was probably Audrey.
Okay,
This was
good guess.
Audrey.
I agree with you. I agree with this hypothesis.
So no, he's a male. No, can't be the host.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for cross-checking that.
Yeah, very good research there. Wow.
The Star Trek Encyclopedia.
You guys are way more knowledgeable than I am on this stuff.
That's true.
Thanks.
Raymond he has the books.
Yep.
Thanks for giving that little jab in there.
Oh, come on. I'm sorry. I'm a jerk. You know this.
Well, yeah. Obviously, you're a jerk.
I love this video. I love this view.
I love the color correction making Rurapenthe purple.
Yeah.
Like it feels alien.
Yeah.
Was that like a holiday destination for Prince? I wonder.
This is okay. This is a contentious scene. This is the communicating with the Klingon outpost and Uhura.
Oh, this is great.
is
Yeah.
reading from the book, and so there is something like Nichelle Nichols didn't necessarily enjoy
either,
this. She thought that it was kind of undermining the knowledge of Uhura.
Yeah,
Right.
she's a human translator. She should have.
Right.
She would have known this stuff.
I think once again it's another example of the putting another joke in this film, right? Basically, because that's
Right.
the only
Because
reason it was
even
there.
if even if they
Nushduk
couldn't
ver,
use the
Reen.
translator, they would have a prompting system. They could, like how we have Google Translate, they could type something in and get an
Exactly.
answer.
Yeah, this was one of the joke. I mean, most of the jokes I think worked, but this one definitely did not.
No.
Nushduk ver, Reen.
I agree.
Reen.
Anyway, though, luckily it was only a small part of the film.
Yeah, frankly,
Yeah.
the fan dance is better than the Klingon dictionaries.
Oh my stars! Did you just say that out loud?
Oh.
So did Jill just say she appreciates the quality fan dance?
Yeah.
Well,
You know what? I am totally on board with that assessment. I love, as I have said publicly many times, I love Star Trek V. And if you're willing to give the fan dance more credence than the dictionary scene, high five, hugs.
Hey, I do like Star Trek V a lot. Don't get me wrong, Scotty. When I diss it slightly, it's kind of I still have affection for it because it has got a lot of good fun, scenes in it.
I adore Cybok.
Well, that's one of the problems I have, but I like the Yellowstone stuff. That's my favorite
Why
part.
does Captain Kirk climb the rock?
I just
Who
love
wants to
the
make
thing,
love?
row your boat. That's fun.
Mhm.
You gonna pluck that thing, or you gonna play something?
Ooh, those are nasty looking teeth.
Yes, that's a saber-toothed Targ.
I would not want to be that creature's dentist.
I do like, and this was something that came up in not the teaser trailer, but the trailer itself when the Klingon sort of security guards are coming around with their pain sticks. I guess they're pain sticks. Like that was awesome. Also, I don't like this because I think that Shatner is pointing too high. He knows how tall he is.
That's actually not a bad point. It is a little high, isn't it?
It is.
What if this guy actually killed Captain Kirk here and left the changeling alive?
Oh no, it's a new theory.
Now just think.
Martia has been in command. It wasn't Captain Kirk who died in Generations. It was Martia.
And what's this with Klingons losing your eyes? Look at this. Look at the warden. Let's see. You've got.
Yeah, but that's Morgan Shepard.
Yeah, that's true.
If you want a guy without an eye, you hire him.
Yeah. Now, if they had actually killed Kirk in that scene, that would have been a hell of a shocking way to finish off the original cruise.
Oh yeah, I'm glad they didn't. I was just joking.
Oh, me too. But
there's more paper. Oh no, that's a mat.
I don't know. I think that this is also suffering from the fact that Next Generation was on at the time, and they did want to differentiate the two time periods, and so they might have incorporated more like paper as opposed to the pads, which were at this point very prevalent in Star Trek: The Next Generation. So I think that's also, you had to make the old Star Trek look like old Star Trek while still contending with Next Generation being on at the same time. I kind of forgive paper.
Okay. Hey, nothing wrong with paper.
But when they had that in the original series, they had it attached.
They had a printer.
Yeah.
Remember in the cage, they had a printer.
Mm-hmm.
They did.
But that went away in the original.
Oh no, it's Burke and Semno. They were stunned in the head.
Burke and Semno. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the two crewmen.
Yes.
Is this the first time we learned that if you put a phaser on stun too close to somebody's head, that it is actually deadly?
Yes, I think so.
Because I always thought stun was just stun, right? I didn't think it could actually kill anybody.
Right, but if you wanted to stun someone, you can do it at a distance. If you put your phaser to the head of your victim,
they want to kill them.
Yeah, but I think that if you want to stun someone, you don't have to put the phaser to the temple of the person that you're trying to stun.
Well, no, if usually in Star Trek, when they use stun, it would be at quite a distance, right?
It's to subdue, but that's obviously a malicious use of stun. And the reason that is there is because if they had vaporized something, then the alarms would have gone off because of an unauthorized phaser.
Yeah, they wanted to cover their tracks, but they didn't want to make it too noticeable. So
true.
Yeah.
That's a great shot. Look at that shot. Is that not
She is
excellent?
so smug, you want to bop her.
Well,
yeah.
Would you like to be aggressively invasive in her mind? Because we can do that if you want.
Yeah, but she's Vulcan. She should know what to expect.
She's young and emotional. She doesn't have a mastery. She has not undergone the Kolinar.
Did she not seem kind of emotionally illogical for a Vulcan, though?
Exactly. That's what I think. I think it's kind of odd.
Well, I do agree with I do agree with Scotty. Probably has not gone through Kolinar.
Definitely hasn't.
Yeah, she is young. Yeah.
But she's been found out, and so logically she should just be like, okay, at this point we're just saving lives, so here you go.
She is, as far as she's concerned, she is saving lives by engaging in a war with the Klingons with assured victory. She is protecting Federation citizens. I do not think that Valeris is being illogical. I think she's wrong, but I do not think she's being illogical.
How many millions will die in the war, though?
Exactly.
You're talking genocide.
I think the war's going to be worse, personally.
Which is narratively, for the purposes of the story, it starts off with Jim saying, "Let them die."
That I was gonna ask if anybody thinks that that's going too far in terms of characterizing Kirk as being bitter against the Klingons for his son's death.
I don't know. I think that
I don't think so, really, Jim.
I think it's a logical. I think it's a logical reaction to a father losing a son in such a brutal manner.
Exactly.
He wasn't blasted. He wasn't disintegrated. He was basically disemboweled. So yeah, I think it was a perfect reaction.
Yeah, it was understandable. I mean, maybe it didn't make Kirk look noble or anything, obviously, but I kind of like a flawed hero, and that scene, Kirk was flawed because he was letting his emotions, even from it back in the past when David was killed, letting his emotions overrule his intelligence as a captain, and putting kind of the mission in jeopardy in a way.
Well, and if I may, like it's one of those things where if you bring up David again, it wasn't just a plot of Star Trek 2 and Star Trek 3. Like David meant something to Jim.
And it meant something to the fans, and it meant something to the continuity of the movies.
Yeah. Yes.
So anyway. I think it was a good scene. I mean, maybe Kirk was harsh, but I mean, don't forget too, how many run-ins did he have with the Klingons in the original series? I mean, it's not like he had great times, every time he met a Klingon. It was usually very adversarial, right? So I can understand his dislike for the Klingons.
Well, how do you feel about performing a mind meld on an unwilling recipient? Do you think that there should be consent in mind melds?
Depends on the circumstance.
Well, right now we have to interrogate someone double plus quick.
In the case
right. He has to do it. He really doesn't have much.
If Joe would go back a few slides, if she'd be so gracious. Obviously, Spock may not like to show emotion, but he's obviously quite displeased with her behavior, I think, in this scene, right?
Yeah, that is a problem. I don't think he should be showing as much anger as he is.
Well, I can understand his anger, though, because Spock holds logic at such a high esteem that when another Vulcan kind of betrays logic, I think Spock, I don't think he's really horribly angry, but I think he's very, very displeased to the point of almost being angry. And I do think, though, that since, he has to find out what's going on, I think the mind meld in this case is justified.
Okay.
Because I
Yeah,
mean,
he has to figure it out.
I was thinking, if I mind meld, I might be able to save people, right? So
right, and that's what
And
they
she
do.
has-
That's what happens in the next scene after they
And
get
she's taking the conscious decision not to. She's taking the conscious decision to keep her mouth shut.
yeah,
I would like to
she could have told what she knew. Yeah.
I would like to point out that neither of the people in the background of this shot are Tuvok.
That's true. They could only find stuntmen to be Sulu's crew.
No, but if they had been wearing a regular uniform, I could have said the one on the right is Tuvok. It would have been fine. No one would have known.
I really kind of like seeing Shatner with the facial stubble here. That's kind of cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we don't see Captain Kirk unshaven, unshaven too often. So that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
I prefer it dark.
Mark Harkness in the chat says, hated cloaks in Enterprise. Till then, I liked the explanation given in the novel Final Frontier. Kirk's father invented the IDEA of a cloak to bluff a Romulan invasion. Roms took a generation to invent it for real. Yeah, I think I read that.
I do remember that.
I appreciate that they kept the Trek tradition of Shakespeare in this movie.
So, is anyone going to say you haven't truly experienced Shakespeare until you've read it?
The original Klingon.
Thank you.
Well, you know how to say to be or not to be in Klingon, don't you, Scotty?
Takpa, takpe.
Well said.
There is, and I do have a. Jill, do you want me to tell the story about takpe?
Yes.
So apparently, Mark Okrand, who is the father of the Klingon language, he decided that when he was creating the syntax of the language, he was not going to have to be verbs, and so when they made Star Trek VI, they said, okay, well, we need you to translate to be or not to be into Klingon, and he was like, I can't. I made it based on not having those. And so he had to work around it. And I don't know the specificity of it, but if you look up Mark Okrand, Hamlet in Klingon, it's a great story about a linguist. F you, Tolkien. My man's Mark Okrand.
Hey, Tolkien made a lot of languages. They're both great.
I know. I'm sorry to be competitive. It's my mistake.
That's kind of rude.
I know. There's only one return, and it's not of the king. It's of the Jedi.
Okay.
All right, let's. I like this. I like the layout.
Wait, go back one. Jill, go back two. That guy. You know who that is? That is Colonel West wearing his Klingon makeup because he's going to go up and he's going to try and assassinate the Federation president.
That's pretty good. I would not recognize that.
That is supposed to be Rene Auberjonois.
Really good makeup job because I didn't recognize it.
I don't think they're the same actor.
No.
But yeah, no, go back to the Warp Core. Star Trek The Next Generation. This is totally Star Trek Next Generation engine room.
That's right. It is. Yeah. True.
Which is fine. I'm fine with it.
Well, once again, it works and it saves money on the budget, right?
True story. Absolutely.
Princess Fiona says, I got hung up on this movie's flawed premise. I'm a classic science fiction fan, which means I have to be on board with the idea. If the premise is flawed, then all that follows is, and I can't immerse.
Is this not immersive for you in terms of the
I don't
world?
know which. Well, I don't know what movie she's referring to, unless she is talking about this movie.
Oh no! If you're talking about First Contact, I get where you're coming from, and I accept your opinion.
Right, me
totally.
too. But
if you're talking about Star Trek 6, I don't know if that's a reference and you're not a fan. I don't know what to do.
Grella says Star Trek 5.
Do the last one. Do the last one.
That was good.
Okay.
Grella was hilarious.
Okay, hold on.
Hang on.
Hold on.
Okay, the last one? Okay,
Yeah,
so Princess Fiona says if you add up all of the character inconsistencies in this movie.
The one right after that.
It's
Okay.
It's probably one of the reasons why it's not one of my favorites. You
Right.
haven't truly read YouTube's terms of service until you read them in the original Klingon.
So, Princess Fiona, you're not a fan of Star Trek
Genius.
6?
And that's okay.
How do you feel about Hunt for Red October?
I personally think Star Trek 6 is great. I don't see any character inconsistencies really in this.
Yeah.
I thought the characters are very. This is one for me of the 6 Star Trek TOS movies. I think this is one of the best ones as far as the screenplay with the character dialogue. I think the characters are very consistent, actually, for the most
It's
part.
definitely top
Oh,
6.
yeah. It's top 2 for me.
That's a good one, Scotty.
Thanks.
It's top 2 for me as well. I put Rothicon first, and then this one second.
See, I go Voyage Home, Undiscovered Country Con.
Oh.
Well, Voyage Home, I would probably put 3rd place.
No, Voyage Home is. I think it's the purest idea of Star Trek in terms of the films.
Here's
You think Star Trek 4 is the one?
Is the purest of Star Trek? Yes.
I see Star Trek 4 as basically a comedy to appeal to normies, to be quite honest.
No, and I understand that, but just you sound like a guy who was a big fan of a band and then it became popular, and you're like, I liked them before they were popular.
No, I just thought it was a movie that was really kind of trying to pander to a general audience more than, be true to the fan base.
I disagree with you wholeheartedly.
I disagree too. I think it's an incredible film because it goes back to the Star Trek tradition of the major threat is not some kind of villain out for revenge. It's just an alien who wants to speak to the whales, and it's given it. There's where the threat comes from, and then it also you have more of a science fiction based plot of trying to get those two creatures together for communication, which is what Star Trek is all about.
Yeah.
Oh, Jill, what if they had to go back in time to get pandas? You'd never be able to get them to make babies.
I don't think you guys are really getting what I'm trying to say here. I think my point is valid because I think it was trying to broaden the base, the audience.
Yeah.
Base. But I will agree with what Jill just said too. I think it's very, very. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Star Trek 4. I think it's a great film, but I just thought that they were trying maybe a little too hard to broaden the appeal. And as much as I love the comedic elements of the film, at times I wish they'd concentrate a little more on the sci-fi.
But there was sci-fi in it.
Yeah, there's time travel.
There's also.
Oh, let's not talk about time travel.
Well, aside from the time travel, there's also the pill that McCoy introduces to the lady.
Yeah,
that was awesome. Now I wish we had that kind
dialysis.
That was cool.
But no, like I think in terms of the classic crew going up against a problem as opposed to an opponent is glorious.
I agree. I think that's great.
And that's what Star Trek is to me. Is when
what I said wrong.
No, I'm understanding what you're saying. I'm just I'm overly defending.
And so I do have a weakness
thing with the whales was cool. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, the fish.
Okay, can we go back to
I like
Star Trek 6?
Right.
Yeah, we're getting sidetracked again.
Wait. We have a clip for this.
We do.
Yeah, hang on a second. I'll find it.
Meanwhile, back at Chang's bachelor
right.
pad.
I could talk about Star Trek 4 all day, so I'll just have another podcast for it.
That'll be
I've grown weary of discussion and argument.
Jill, you have the best clips. I don't know how you have these organized, but you always know when to bring up the perfect one.
Well,
I did that.
He did.
Oh, Scotty did that. Okay, well, how the hell would I know?
Yeah, I would have brought it.
Like you very much.
I'm the communications in.
Okay.
Okay, I'll shut the hell up now.
Double dumbass on you.
All right.
Whatever.
Okay, so here we get Chang ready to.
Everyone's
Scotty,
shaking.
Oh yeah, Scotty, give us the story.
That is a horrible picture. Go back. Oh my stars! Can you send me that? I'm gonna make that my. That's gonna be my wallpaper on
Okay.
Facebook now.
I'll get you a clearer shot of it. But yeah.
Thank you. No, I want that one specifically. I want it to be rather pixely. That's a good one though. He looks great in this. But yeah, they're like so the Enterprise shows up and the bird of prey is there and Christopher Plummer is playing Vadic or Vadic's grandfather.
Oh, no, shut up.
Well, no, Amanda Plummer played Vadic in Picard, so it's kind of an interesting thing. You get two Star Trek villains that are of the Plummer the House of Plummer.
That should be a new Klingon house, the House of Plumber.
It should be.
And their symbol will be a big plunger.
What was that, Jill?
I should have asked Raymond to talk about the scene. I didn't know we were going to bring up Picard.
No, I'm sorry.
It was really fun seeing.
It's okay. It's Friday. I'm supposed to allow you to, but
it was.
I'm tired of hearing about it.
Besides, you stiff-necked thistlehead, you could have gotten yourself killed.
Thistlehead, I love that.
You tell him.
I just really enjoyed seeing Captain Sulu with his own starship kind of coming in to save the day there. That was kind of cool.
And here they are talking without a care in the world as Armageddon is happening in the skies.
You would think the president of the Federation would have a bit more security detail around him, though, would you not?
Well, he's got a whole bunch of Starfleet officers, but half of them probably are out to kill him anyway.
But nobody seems to be monitoring the situation, right? Because usually you have guys kind of in the background lurking and just, eyeing everybody, right?
Oh, look at that model. That's
beautiful.
So
that is gorgeous. Oh, my goodness.
Now, I wonder, is that a model or is that CGI?
This is a model.
Okay, stop yelling at me.
Models always look better. CGI sucks.
I'm just curious.
That's my opinion.
I could touch that.
That's beautiful. Oh my god, that's beautiful.
That is awesome.
Gorgeous.
Sorry.
We're not doing phrasing. Okay.
I love that we're in the 24th century and the Klingons have to push a button to blast their torpedoes.
Also, I would like to say, in terms of a technical discrepancy, Uhura says, "What about all those things? What about all that equipment that we have for cataloging gaseous anomalies? Thing must have a tailpipe. It wasn't the Enterprise that had the gaseous anomaly
No, it was the
quantifier.
Excelsior.
It was the Excelsior at the beginning of the movie. So that's just a thing that I wanted to point out for no reason except for argument. Either way, what a gorgeous ship the Excelsior is.
Yeah.
They both look great.
I got the AMT model for my birthday. I haven't built it yet.
Well, you should do that. You should film you building it. People would dig it.
Lucky you.
Do you build models, Jill?
No, this is my first one I've ever gotten. So
Be careful. It's easy to mess it up if you put too much glue on
That's
it.
what I'm worried about.
I was going to say the opposite. I was going to say, Jill, whatever happens, more glue.
I can't remember. I honestly can't remember how many model kits I destroyed as a kid trying to glue things together.
I've done my shit. And that's what happens to the kitchen, to the dining room.
This is so good. The Spock and McCoy interaction, just working together, no animosity, no jokes, even making like Bones makes a joke to Spock. I'd give real money if he'd shut up. Like, this is crazy awesome.
I love most of the humor in this film. Like, a few jokes fall flat, but most of it's pretty fun.
And he's just over there going, "Oh, we're going to die."
Yeah, the pacing is great.
Oh yeah,
and also this is where Lursa and Bator bit the dust as well.
There's a special effect right there. Wow.
Yeah, they reused it for Generations, which is one of the big abominations of
really
of special effects. Really.
Oh jeez.
Yeah.
Like in any movie, like if you reuse a special effect, I am upset.
Yeah.
Hence my distaste for Stargate.
Yeah, that's not too cool. Yeah.
So, but. You know, I still think that Generations is my favorite Next Generation movie.
I like First Contact. It may be flawed, but it's fun.
It's very popular. It's very popular.
I just like seeing probably the only time I can remember when Picard actually seems to grow a pair and become a man of action for a little while.
Well, and part of the reason why I enjoy Generations is because he seems more in line with his character from the television show. That's the last time that I got to see Jean-Luc Picard.
Well, to each their own.
Yeah, true story. Well, the world don't move to the beat of just one drum.
I want to know who the Romulan ambassador is.
Nunclus?
Yeah, Nunclus.
You know who he? Okay, so he's not going to look familiar because he was under heavy makeup, but he was in a Star Trek: The Next Generation episode as Portal, the guardian of the Takan Empire.
Oh, okay.
It was the first episode with the Ferengi from season 1 of The Next Generation.
That's probably why I don't remember.
When they had whips.
Oh, Ferengi were so awful in season 1. Ugh.
Just because you don't like it doesn't mean that Nunclus didn't play Portal.
Yeah, I agree. But the Ferengi were so goofy back in that show. I'm glad they finally made them interesting in Deep Space Nine.
Armin Shimmerman was one of the first Ferengi.
Well, he didn't have much material to work with, it seems, though, because I don't.
He had a whip.
Well, I know maybe that might appeal to you, Scotty.
You clothe your females.
Nah,
let's not go there.
Whip it good.
And Ahura says Starfleet
like
wants us back in space dock. And this is the only clip that I got from the movie. I wanted to get more clips, but this is all I got.
Oh, you got
If I were
it.
human, I believe my response would be...
Okay. I kind of a little bit of an issue with that scene. Spock is
What?
half human.
Yes, he is half human.
So
He has always refuted his half human side.
I know that, but still the writing seemed a little bit inconsistent or something.
Before he died. Let's not forget he died.
Yeah.
That was still a good scene. I like the music too. The
that was a
TOS
nice
music. Yeah.
Absolutely. But I love that. And you know what? I get upset when they rip it off when Data says. It's like, I would say, to hell with our orders. It's like, too close.
If Joe would go back a few stills back to Sulu.
I would like to say we have 13 minutes.
Yeah, you're going back too far.
I don't remember what.
There was one shot with Sulu and his bridge crew.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. No Tuvok. Tuvok.
I see a certain blonde lady in the background, and I thought it was nice to see Grace Lee Whitney back in Star Trek in this one. I thought
I'm glad you mentioned it. Yes, she had a better close up earlier.
Yeah, she had a small part. I think she had a few lines. It wasn't much, but I just thought it was a nice little touch to bring her back into the family, so to speak, and give her like a little Star Trek hug, and it's like you're back with us.
Of course, and we got to also see her in Star Trek 3.
Or Star Trek: The Motion Picture.
Oh yeah, but I mean, I just thought it was nice how, it was such a rough way that she got treated in season 1 of TOS. Getting bounced out after I don't know how many episodes exactly.
Right, because of somebody else's transgressions. Not
exactly. Yeah, I thought it was pretty appalling, really, that Grace had to suffer. And so I thought it was nice that they gave her some work and paid her some money and brought her back in and
you're glad the check cleared.
Well, I'm sure Grace was, right? I mean,
for sure. Well, and also,
let's face it, it wasn't like her career was stellar after TOS ended for her.
And also, if you're a fan of Grace Lee Whitney as Rand, she was in Flashback from Voyager, the episode with Tuvok.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, I don't.
Very prominent.
I must have missed that one. I don't remember that one.
Oh, you should totally check it out. If you're a fan of Star Trek 6, you should check out Flashback.
I've watched quite a bit of Voyager, but there's a lot I haven't seen too, because Voyager never really did it for me, to be honest.
Well, it's kind of like Voyager's Trials and Tribulations, and I appreciate it. It's got it's got Michael and Sarah as Kang.
Kang was there.
Oh, I gotta watch that one then. Yeah.
Also, Avengers Endgame ripped this off. Thank you. And
can you put that episode title in the private chat here? Because I'd like to.
I'll send it to you on Twitter. I'll send you a link to the trailer.
Awesome. Good stuff.
Anyway, oh no, Jill, did you get the typo?
Huh?
Typo.
There's a typo.
Where?
It is the listing of Nichelle Nichols' character. If you can
I've
see
been
it.
muted this whole time.
Oh,
okay.
yeah, they did
Sorry.
screw it up.
Yeah.
It says a Haru.
Yeah.
Instead of a Hura.
I don't know who that is, but Nichelle Nichols played her.
That's shocking. I can't believe a major movie would make that kind of mistake.
Yep.
Wow. Good. Scotty, how did you ever notice that?
I'm a Star Trek fan.
Man, you should like open a detective agency or something if you're as good with uncovering details as that one. That's great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of an expert.
Yeah, you are. Mr.
That's
Brown
amazing,
Alliance
Scotty.
has Blood FX courtesy of Terminator 2, Liquid Alloy.
Oh, the liquid Terminator guy. Okay.
Princess
That makes
Fiona
sense.
says James Caserta, a moon exploding for no reason and an entire empire collapsing because of it. Yeah, because it was gonna poison Kronos.
The ozone.
And apparently they could fix it, but they didn't have enough resources in all of the planets they've conquered. Which I agree. That makes no sense.
What kind of empire is that?
It was an allegory for Chernobyl.
But it should make sense within the Star Trek universe. They shouldn't just pull something from history and be like, "Oh, this happened to the Klingon Empire now."
Well, they could have come up with a better reason for the Klingon Empire, basically facing doom.
I agree. I let it go because it's such a fun movie, but that part.
But yeah, I mean,
I'm fine with it.
It basically starts the movie, and it's like what was it? Something about the Klingons were careless with the mining or whatever on the moon, and they screwed something up. And that's why it exploded.
Well, okay. So here's, if I may, and please cut me off when I become babbly. But what I would think in terms of the development of the Klingon Empire is that they first launched into space to get to the moon to find natural resources. They started mining the moon, and that became their industrial complex. And then they started building ships to go out, and that's why they conquer. And that's what they're looking for. But they never thought that the moon, like if they managed, if they did better, like Praxis is almost like Krypton. It's like, oh no, we've got this under control.
It's like their main mining base, basically.
Exactly. But I think that
they put all their eggs in one basket, so to speak.
That's what I think. Yeah. And so I think
I thought.
And it's also, let's be fair, it's cheaper to get things from closer. So if Praxis is their primary ore rich moon, then they're just going to do it from orbit. Yep. Which is what the moon would be. It would be their 7-Eleven, their Circle K.
Saves on those shipping costs, right? We all know about shipping costs.
So they might be bringing whatever they're bringing in, but it's easier just to get it out of Praxis. And they say very specifically at the beginning of the movie that it was over mining. Like they were reckless with it. They were at the end of the moon's life, essentially. Yeah. And the moon couldn't take it. It destroyed it. It affected the atmosphere of Kronos. Yeah. And they have 50 years of life, and let them die.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with.
But they wouldn't have to die. They could evacuate or figure out how to solve the problem because
sheer fucking hubris.
They could figure it out.
That's
no, but that's a quote from a Star Trek show, so it counts.
Not our Star Trek. Not our Star Trek.
It's Friday. I'm allowed to filth.
Yeah, you can. You can roll in the filth, but it's not Star Trek.
I apologize for the swear words, everyone. It wasn't me. It was a Star Trek thing.
Okay,
it was Mirror Scotty.
Okay, I got a Princess Fiona says lots of possibilities, but if it's not in the movie, then it's not in the movie. That's just lazy writing. It's not my job to figure out their plot for them. And she said this a long time ago, but that fits here. That fits here.
Hey, if that's the way you feel, that's fine. I mean, I don't want to change anybody's mind on anything, really.
Yeah,
I dig Princess Fiona's perspective. So
I do too.
I can understand it. Yeah.
Written by Mr. Spock and Nicholas Meyer.
I just think for me, I bought into the premise and I enjoyed the movie because I think the rest of the movie is really, really good. So, I have a different take on it.
Princess Fiona says, The wrap uniforms aren't so great for Louisiana weather, though. They look really warm. Renee Auberjonois was also in Murder, She Wrote.
Seems he was in a lot of stuff.
And Admiral Teague says it's BS. William Shatner is the greatest actor. Oh no!
Uh-oh.
My phone
Is
says
that ice
it's
cream
time
truck coming through Jill's neighborhood once
Oh
again?
no! It means it's close to time to quit and go
Oh,
over to Bird of Prey
no.
5. But I do want to say thank you to the chat and everything. And I got like 65 more chats, or like 80 more chats actually.
Oh my God.
He worked on Apocalypse Now and Last Waltz. Okay, so let's see. I think Bird went away to block me on Twitter, says Gorilla's Random Thoughts, for saying Chang spent too much time looking up Shakespeare quotes. And Herc 130 was here driving, so he couldn't chat. But he needs extra credit for showing up. Speaking of grading, I completely forgot. I did a poll. Thanks to Scotty.
I haven't voted yet. Let me vote.
Okay.
Let me vote.
There are 42
There we go.
votes
I just
currently.
voted.
It wasn't thanks to me. It was thanks to Raymond. He was the one who was.
Raymond did. Thanks to Raymond.
He seconded that emotion.
Oh yes, definitely.
I remember that song.
Yeah, I know, right? It's a good song.
Okay, so with 43 votes, Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country, gets a rating out of 70%, B for 23%, and C for 7%. Nobody gave it a D or an F, not even Gorilla.
I was going to say.
Thank goodness for that. Certainly doesn't deserve a D.
Well, it got us to think of knee coitus, which is a fun time.
Oh boy.
I brought it up. We can kill it now.
Mark Harkness says Michael Jordan. Yeah, there was way too much time spent on that.
It's an interesting biological function.
I agree. Way too much time. Let's not talk about it any further.
We got to talk about Tom Selleck.
Okay, Jill, what do you
let Jill finish the chat.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Admiral Cheek says, "Oh, when you see how dishonorable work is." Oh wait, I didn't want to talk about that, but yeah. That don't worry, Admiral Cheek. That wasn't Worf.
Hey, Dark Helmet is here. Hello.
That was just Michael Dorn,
Helmet.
and he took a job, and I am fine that he took a job.
I like it when people I enjoy get to do more art for me. I get to be an audience for them, and so I enjoy it. Even if it's bad, I'm just happy to see them.
Right. I can understand that sentiment. Admiral Teague says Zephram Cochrane is from Alpha Centauri.
He's not.
Oh. Yeah. But Princess Fiona corroborates in Luribola Alpha Centauri.
In what novel?
Fortress Maximus. And Donnie Pearson says, I love Undiscovered. It's among my 2 honorable mentions in my list of the TOS and overall Star Trek movies. Everyone needs a tailpipe, says Princess Fiona.
Yeah.
Oh, we're not doing phrasing.
That is kind of essential, I must say.
And she continues, you need to radiate waste from the fusion reactors and presumably the warp engines. The likely is no gaseous exhaust.
Oh, gaseous exhaust. I know that too well.
Right, but they were talking about the...
I don't want to get into it because I could talk for an hour about the alien with the genital knees.
Let's go back to the chat.
Why?
Yes.
Why? Because it's
okay. Did they make any goth in the galley?
Oh yeah, I was wondering about that.
Make any gawk?
That was another question. I thought, where's the gawk?
You just have gawk. You don't have to prepare it. It's alive. You just watch it.
I wish we'd seen. I wish they'd served some of that to the Klingons in the dinner scene, though. That would have been really funny.
It just needs to be fresh.
Yes.
Yeah.
I guess they weren't carrying any on the Enterprise, though. So.
Oh, Jim says, "Hey, Scotty, want someone to kick you in the balls? Do you glow or do you go to the ground?"
Both.
I don't know.
Both.
I just wanted to read something from Jim because I didn't read anything yet.
Well, and Jim, in the future, if you would like to, if you'd like to play Rochambeau, it's SCOTTY. You don't have to do the IE. I'm not a towel.
And Nyota Hura means Star of Freedom in Swahili.
Yeah.
And Hikaru is Japanese for light or illumination, says Princess Fiona.
I enjoy, like, how do you guys, when they introduced the new, like when they finally unveiled both Hikaru and Nyota's names, were you satisfied?
I liked it.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
it was fine. Yeah,
For both.
Good names.
Like, even though Nyota was revealed in Star Trek 2009, I was happy with that addition to her character. Like on film.
Yeah, and Mark Harkness says before they came up with Nyota, many of us thought Uhura's name was Panda, Swahili for love. Thus Panda Uhura, she who loves freedom. So Nyota, Panda, Uhura.
Well, and I first found out about Nyota in the Interplay video game Star Trek Judgment Rights, and it was in there, and it was voiced. It was one of the point and click adventures that was voiced by the original cast, and so it had Nichelle Nichols pretty much confirmation that it was Nyota years, like 20 years, 15 years before.
Yeah, that is the thing. They agree on names, but then it doesn't become canon until it shows up on screen.
Well, I count Star Trek Judgment Rights as being part of the original series. It's really amazing. If you haven't played the Interplay point and click adventure games, they are amazing. I recommend them highly.
I believe it. And Princess Fiona says about when the pod is phasered, insta disintegrating pod. Recipe computers? Oh, why are there lights blinking all over the place in the kitchen? Recipe.
Well, I'm of a mind that that's a computer core that it has to have like an open space within it. And so they just sort of adapted it for being either a lab or a kitchen. And they decided that's a kitchen.
Oh, yeah. That happens sometimes where you do experiments in a kitchen. You readapt a kitchen for a science lab temporarily.
That's true. I could buy that.
Like, what if it's like you really have to super cool the computer core? So why not put something that generates heat in the middle of it?
I like that idea. It's a multi-use room. Canadian Spider-Man says you can stick a whisk at the end of a cordless drill and stir the pot with it. Oh, right. Yeah. Why didn't they just have Cuisinarts?
Canadian Spider-Man, I've seen you juggle torches, so I agree with your assessment.
Absolutely.
Hey,
and
you're
everybody who was here in the chat. Wait, what?
Your mandolin didn't go off.
Yeah, it did.
Did it?
I'm going to be late. I don't care. I am going to finish looking through to see if anybody else says anything about the movie.
I hate to be your Jiminy Cricket, but that's what I bees.
Thank you. I appreciate your concern. But I do want to thank everybody for being here. Princess Fiona, Franco Walker, and everybody. And Phantom Boomer, Canadian Spider-Man.
LDG. Admiral T.
Yeah. I don't know if I could name everybody because there's so many people here today. Mark Harkness. And LDG says, looking for Tuvok. We can't find sheet.
True story.
Oh, right. Okay, I'll play that for you at the end, LDG, just because you said that.
Oh, nice. I love that clip.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I read this. Okay, so then Then Mark Harkness says, Spock didn't force her mind. He opened himself to her, showing his own death, reminding what he said about logic being the beginning of wisdom.
Ooh.
She distressed by experiencing Spock's hurts and insight.
Mark, that is gold star. That's amazing.
Yeah. Very interesting.
So Spock didn't force the mind meld upon her. He made an outpouring of his own experience, and she resisted it because it was too, like, she resisted. Like, I don't want to say too painful, but like it was a situation where she was holding by her commitment to the conspiracy. But as Spock poured his experience into her, it convinced her that there's more.
I think Spock put his open mind into her and tried to open her mind, perhaps.
What if it's like when Spock did the mind meld with the crystal on Ilea in Star Trek: The Motion Picture, and he gets the flash of information, and it's just all so much that it's overwhelming for him.
Well, I would imagine, yeah. I would imagine. I can't.
No, that's
I can't imagine what it'd actually be like to be able to lock. I mean, it's like physical. Coupling with a person is intense enough, but can you imagine intellectual, mental coupling with a person? Like that would be literally mind-boggling.
well, and that's one of the things that made me, stop worrying and learn to love Pon farr. Is that a lot of the romantic connection between Vulcans and their mates is intellectual through mind melds.
Telepathy.
Yeah.
You got to remember that Vulcans are telepathic, and so they must experience much of their exchange of information that way.
And I think telepathic empathy or telepathic intimacy is probably much more intense than physical intimacy.
Maybe that's why they only do it every 7 years, because it's so overwhelming and so intense.
Oh, totes.
like that's enough, right? It's like, well, that was amazing. Well, let's do it 7 years from now.
Also, hello to Tony Stark. I'm glad you're gonna check out the replay.
Stark.
Yeah.
Tony had work today, I think, didn't he? Unfortunately.
Ahoy, Mr. Stark.
Hey, Tony.
Yeah.
Yeah, and okay, so there's tons of great chat here. I love how active it is here. I wish I could read all of it, but I've got to go.
All right.
Okay.
No.
Fly her apart then.
Oh, Stream Elements wants you to remember to check out Doomcock tonight. He's going to have his Friday Night Frolics. Don't want to miss it.
Did you guys give your ratings for this movie yet?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
No. I stepped out for a minute, so
I give it a B.
I give it an A.
Holy crap!
I gave it an A minus. I like it a lot.
I give it an A.
Yeah.
The only reason I gave it A minus is I get Wrath of Khan an A plus. So
Well, you know me, I like the sci-fi, so this is more political intrigue stuff. So that's why I give it a B.
Yeah. Okay. I can understand, but
I still like it anyway.
I thought, considering the times it was made in, though, the political intrigue kind of made sense, because there was a lot of stuff changing in the world back then in reality. So I can understand why the writers kind of used that as an inspiration for the storyline. So,
in the immortal words of the philosophers P.M. Dawn, reality used to be a friend of mine.
The sad thing, though, is, there was like the optimistic hope that peace would reign in this movie. And as we see in the world today, that did not occur, unfortunately.
Yep.
I won't go into any details, but I think you all know what I mean.
Thank you.
All right. So thank you, everybody, for being here. And we will see you next time.
Jill, when do I get paid?
I will not see you next time, because
Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will not see you on a Friday stream again for I have no idea how long, and it makes me very sad that I'm not going to be able to see you guys and have fun with you on Friday.
It's always good to see you, man.
Good
Yeah,
seeing
but
You guys.
You
guys are
you
my
never
favorite
know. It might
people.
not be forever. You might have a day off on Friday, so you'll make a surprise appearance.
We can
Everyone-
check you out on Lost in Space.
Well, that's
that
one
too.
thing I wanted to mention. Like, don't forget Lost in Space Monday nights on Pop's channel, because Jill and I will be there with Pop and Gorilla, and those are always fun. And actually, the next one this coming Monday is possibly my very favorite episode of the entire series.
I heard.
It's definitely in the top
Oh yeah, that's
5.
right. Okay, so you're already talking about your stuff, so keep going.
Okay. I just want to recommend this Monday a Lost in Space stream, because my friend Mr. Nobody is the first one written by Jackson Gillis. Who
You do know Jill has to go.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, Raymond already left.
Raymond died. Oh, God.
Remember, if he didn't mean to leave, or if he meant to leave, he didn't say goodbye. But make sure to subscribe and hit the bell for King Dolphin TV, and check out all the cool stuff he has planned. I think that he's going to have his Just Cuz on Sunday instead of Saturday this week.
Anyway, I just wanted to say I think this is one of the best episodes of Lost in Space coming up Monday. So I highly recommend joining our stream because it's always a lot of fun.
Thank
Oh, there
goodness.
he's back.
I hit the wrong button.
I was like,
Sorry.
you didn't get to say goodbye. Okay,
And there's
I'm glad you're here.
really,
Okay,
you
I'm
guys
here.
have already heard me yak about my channel before. It's basically music based with a lot of
I know.
playlists and stuff. So
Okay.
I don't need to go into details
Yeah.
because I want to let Jill go. But anyway,
I do.
just
I
wanna
gotta
say
go.
one more time.
I'll
I
be
had too much
quick.
fun.
I'm gonna miss you guys. I'm gonna miss you guys.
Okay, PVV.
Yeah.
We're gonna miss you too.
Yeah, but we'll always be here, and so
Yep.
you never know.
Yep. Okay, I'm here.
Yes, please plug your channel. So
Okay, my
we
channel
can
is King
continue
Dolphin
with our story.
TV. I do cool. Actually, Jill, you were doing pretty good on that.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, I do cool
I panicked.
interviews. I do have great great entertainment on the weekends. Just cause we're going to, because I'm on a away mission tomorrow. We'll be doing a Sunday stream this weekend, and for Just Cause. And please come for the Wednesday interviews. We've got a lot of big things coming up in May, June, and my upcoming book release of Blood
Oh
Feud.
yay!
Blood
Oh
Feud
yeah,
is coming up.
that's going to
Blood
the
Feud.
editing has been taken care of.
Yes,
That's incredible. Congratulations.
thank you. So yes, go to King Dolphin TV and let's make some waves.
You should make that into a
What do you
t-shirt.
have going on? Actually, he does have a merch store, don't you?
Let's
Yes,
make waves.
my store's on
T-shirt.
Zazzle.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and the Phantasmagorium is back open. So we're
Oh, it is.
Yeah. So we're gonna
Hooray!
Yeah, I assure you, we're open. So we're going to be doing Spider-Man and In the Loop, which Jill, you and I got to start last night again. We got to watch some Quantum Leap, which is awesome.
I missed that because it was on so early.
Well, if you are a fan of Quantum Leap, we've been going through the Bakula
Hey.
Dean Stockwell's.
Scotty, are you going to be putting Quantum Leap back on your channel now then?
Well, now that the
Okay,
Phantasmagorium
yeah,
is open again.
What time?
We'll work that out later. We don't have time
Either
right
way,
now.
it's a fun time. So we got.
we don't have time to talk about the time.
Jill's got to go. Yeah.
Good night, Jill.
Good night, Jill.
Night,
night,
Jill.
guys.
Love you, Jill. Night.
Take care.
Amok time.
All right.
Dun 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 dun.
And talk about saving time.
Dun 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 dun.
Captain's log, stardate 3372.7. First Officer Spock seems to be under stress.
If I want anything from you, I'll ask for it. You don't get him to Vulcan within a week, 8 days at the outside, he'll die.
I await you. Who is she?
My wife.
She chooses the challenge. They will choose thy champion. This one. This combat is to the death.
He's dead.
I promised this one to Tony. Where is it? Here it is.
It's over there.
I've been acting for 35 years. 135 credits on IMDb.
This is Tim Russ,
I
yes.
was in a long-running series. You might remember it. Star Trek. But all I'm known for is combing the desert and saying, we ain't found shit.